and Dragons.
Oh, this way, hi.
No, that's the camera. So this is the first ever session of Odd Encounters of the Nerd Kind. Shout out to Robyn for that name.
Show me your face.
Alright.
I did. Fine.
So, I am going to open with a brief explanation of the world one last time, and then we're going to move into it. So we're just going to roll straight off. Any final questions before we get going? Any final points we want to make before we're just like rolling in? Let's pray. Alright.
This is a tabletop RPG?
Legitimately, in training to be a pastor, I said this during someone's, I think it was you guys. Yeah, I was there on chat. In training to be a pastor, I forget, like I don't know how to start something or end something without a word of prayer. So I gather everyone here, I'm like, everyone's attention, let's pray. My mind is like, that is the only logical route to take. Alright.
No, worship leader he says that too. It's okay.
We're just gonna roll into it. So, welcome to the kingdom of Orvitsal. I actually have a map. I'm going to show you guys a brief map of the kingdom. So, this is Orvitsal. This top section, the bottom section, is a southern kingdom, so you guys can pass that around. So welcome to the kingdom of Orvitsal, or more appropriately, the City of Aceivrish. Here's another map, and you can pass that around. The year is 1253 AT, which stands for After Titan. You are currently living in the second largest city in the kingdom of Orvitsal on the continent of Lazamin. Thank you, Robyn. Despite the size of the city, rats, the size of small dogs, roam the city streets, tearing apart anyone who ventures out without a light. They have completely overrun the sewers and wander the streets after sunset. As for government, the city guard patrol the streets in grimy, dirty armor specifically designed to provide light to keep the rats at bay. The city council, led by a brutal, cutthroat tiefling named Scamaros, holds the city in disarray. The rich continue to get richer, and the poor continue to get poorer. Many years ago, a plague passed through the kingdom called the Decay, and left the city of Aceivrish in ruin. The plague scarred and marred roughly 30% of the city's population, transforming their faces into grotesque images of what they once were, and also resulted in the loss of limbs for many. This led to the rich wearing porcelain masks and prosthetic limbs that over the years became the popular style. Now all the higher class members of the city wear masks as a symbol of status, while the poor are left to share their true face with the world. Mysteriously, 30 years ago, that disease, along with all other diseases, ceased within the city, and no one, rich or poor, has been sick since. The city guard that roam the streets are fiercely loyal to Scamaros, and are led by a cruel, no-nonsense tiefling named Nithki. However, despite being well-trained and equipped, the guard don't like getting their hands dirty. As such, they hire out to adventurers and anyone willing to do what they must for coin when the jobs get dangerous. This can include clearing out rats, fighting some monsters, and even patrolling or escorting through the most dangerous sectors of the city. This is where you all come in. Theoretically. This campaign is going to open at a tavern called the Wooden Shoe. It's a well-liked and well-known tavern run by a halfling woman named Dane, just outside the wall next to the gate Spitty. It is in the southern basin section of the City of Aceivrish. Tonight, as rain seeps through your coats and rats scurry from your movement, the tavern is surprisingly not busy. A handful of guests sit around enjoying dinner, and we are going to open with one of you in particular. So, Tyler. Oh, was it?
Yeah.
What did I say?
You said it was in the gutter hole.
I was wrong.
Okay.
It
Stop
is
texting me wrong
I will
things.
stop texting you wrong things. It is in the southern.
Block is numbered.
Tyler.
If only it was his number.
Making your way through the darkened streets. It's about 10:30 p.m. You are walking through the streets the rain misting through your cloak and your jacket as you make your way forward, your boot splashing in water, sending rats scurrying from where you step. And you see the warm glow of the wooden shoe coming out of the windows, lights from inside, shining down the street. What do you do?
Well, I go inside.
As you make your way towards the entrance to the
Or was I
tavern,
not supposed to do that?
Outside.
as you make your way towards the entrance of the tavern, you see two small dots appear in the shadow to your left.
Criminy, you've got to stop doing that.
You're late.
Sorry, I can't help it. Have you seen the weather out tonight? Bloody awful.
As you approach the tavern, staggering up behind you is your friend and companion. Whose name I forgot. Maurice.
Call me Maurice.
Anyway, as you step out of the shadow, Maurice staggers out after you, and the three of you make your way into the wooden shoe. Alright, so as you enter in through the door, you push the door open, and the warmth from the blazing hearth and the hanging chandeliers kind of smacks you in the face. It wasn't cold outside per se, but it was wet, rainy, and a little chilly. Aceivrish is relatively far north and just south of the mountains, so the weather gets colder here more often than it gets hot. In the winter months, it's going to snow terribly heavy. Entering into the tavern, the first and most immediate face you see is, you assume to be Dame Dane, the halfling woman who runs this tavern, scurrying around, walking barefooted on top of the bar itself. She's jumping back and forth between patrons, getting drinks ready, and diving into work. Sitting at a table to your left, a longer table, you see 4 figures. You see a human. I have my notes. I need to go to my NPC list. Harsh. Here we go. You see 2 very rough-looking sailor folk. One who is a half-orc and one who is a half-orc woman, and one who is a dwarfish man, sitting with tall mugs of ale, kind of wholeheartedly laughing and shoving each other around. I'm going to skip to a little bit pleasanter music, hopefully. Sitting along with them is a larger man with a long gray beard, who is kind of sitting in the back, sipping and smiling pleasantly. A halfling man sits at the head of their table, very boisterously telling his story and jumping back and forth between different characters and personalities. To your right sits another table where 2 humans in full polished plate armor are sitting and laughing, one of which who has golden hair only on the left side of her head, the right half is shaved, and a large religious tattoo that kind of stretches all down her arm, all in gold. And sitting across from her is a man who has long black ponytail and a large golden tattoo across his left eye and the left half of his face.
Like a similar tattoo to the woman's?
Similar tattoo to the woman's. And that is everyone who is in the tavern at the moment. Oh, not everyone, there's one more. Sitting off, just separated from the 2 humans on its own, is a warforged who appears to have just finished having a conversation with the bartender. You've seen warforged before. Menaces to society, large mechanical and organic monstrosities, but there's something strange about this warforged. It appears to be covered in butterflies, which is just odd. The Warforged has a large sword across its back and a shield across its back as well, and after finishing a conversation with Dame, turns and makes its way out of the tavern. And as it passes by you, you notice another figure was sitting next to it. He has a cane and a bowler hat kind of lopsided on his head. He's a tiefling, and his horns poke out underneath his bowler cap, and he's wearing a very ornate mask covering the top half of his head, so he's clearly one of the higher class. And he appears to just be lounging, feet up on the bar,
What kind of
kicked
feet?
back. What?
What kind of feet?
Big
Feet.
ones.
Human feet. Feet. Wearing boots.
A tiefling?
Yes. He does not have hooves. He has
Okay,
regular
that's,
feet.
yes.
Yes.
I was
He has
wondering.
regular feet.
Are they like sexy feet or?
He's wearing he's wearing very nice
Alex says,
custom
I'm
made
nosy on over there.
leather baby
Introduce
shoes.
myself.
No wings or anything, guys.
No wings.
Yeah.
No. But he is wearing a longer
couldn't help
cloak
but
as
notice.
well, and his tail swishes along the floor below us. What are you guys doing?
You remember why we're here? I don't remember why we're here. It's been a bit of a day.
Where are you going? Okay. As you make your way up to the bar, the tiefling figure kind of slams his mug on the table twice, tosses 2 gold coins at the bartender, hops up and begins to make his way past you guys. And as he walks past the 3 of you, he kind of pauses in front of you and he goes, "It's a pleasure to meet you. What's your name?" "Well, it's a lovely, lovely evening for a lovely woman." And he pulls a rose out and he holds it out to you. "Oh boy." And he kind of spins his cane briefly and he looks at you. "You take care of her now, yeah?"
Don't worry. Yeah.
"You two have a lovely evening." And he makes his way
Do you
towards
want
the
this
door
back?
and he pushes the door open into the night and he walks off into the distance.
I would have liked that.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'll have a drink. I don't know about you. Oh, what you got?
Are you going up to the bartender?
Yes.
Okay, so you go and you sit down at the bar and I didn't have your music, it's so light.
This is not tavern music.
It's-
This is not.
We're gonna
You go
shift.
stupid.
Yeah, the party just left though.
That's true, that man was the party.
And she
All of you
already-
collectively played one person.
Alright, that's better.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Like 3 people playing
entering in, you hear a
personalities.
large amount of laughter from your left at the table as the halfling kind of finished his joke, and you approach the bartender and you sit down in front of her. "Hey, what can I do for you today?"
Well, I was wondering if you might have any whiskey.
"I can get you some whiskey, aye." She pulls out a quick. "Would you like shot whiskey or sip of whiskey? What's your choice?"
I think I'll go with a sipper, and if you would, could you put a little bit of cream in that?
"I can as well. And what for you, ma'am?" "Right, and for your friend in the back."
Maurice, you got anything you'd like?
I am okay. Thank you.
No tea or anything?
I am no.
Alright then.
Right, well, when you want more, you let me know, and
How much for this run?
for just a short, 1 silver piece per cup, probably, give or take.
That'll do.
I could run it up if I wanted to, but for you, 1 silver.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Of course.
Is that actually a fair price?
For the most part, about average. Right, and I've got other patients to attend to, but if you want me, you just let me know.
Alright, and you presume, Demay?
I am indeed, and you are?
I'm, name's Rob.
Ruff, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you as well.
Alright, well you two have a lovely time now. You 3, sorry. Have a lovely time now. I keep forgetting there's an NPC. And
I'll do this
let
one.
me know if you need me. And she carries off towards the 2 iron-plated figures and drops off a drink for them. So what are you guys doing?
Yeah, Demay? Yeah. I tend to be good with barkeeps.
What a surprise.
Is it why were we here again? I totally forgot. I'm not sure if it's the whiskey or me, honestly.
People.
People. What? Which people? Like, nice ones?
Yes.
That's right.
Alright. Oh, I forgot to mention one figure as well. Sorry, the music is not just coming from thin air. Totally forgot the bard. Sitting in the back is a long red-headed woman, and she's playing on a fiddle off to the back. And that's the only addition to the tavern I forgot to make.
I'm gonna keep an eye on the people with the golden tattoos.
Okay. They seem to be having a good time, celebrating something clearly. They're laughing loudly and toasting consistently, and they've already finished. You can see like multiple empty mugs next to them as they're continuing on. The man on his 7th mug, and the woman on her 8th.
The next time,
Reuse them?
No, they're not reusing them,
the next time the barkeeper comes up,
which is
"Hey,
very strange.
I'm just curious, what are they drinking?"
Those two are the laughing steels.
The laughing steel.
They're dragon slayers. And they just finished a hunt.
No wallaby.
I'm dead serious.
No.
That is fantastic. So they just got back, like, tonight.
They just got back.
Alright.
So this is their first day back. Actually, they're not from the city. They're from a little bit further south. I'm turning into your accent. They're from a little bit further south from here, but they seem to be stopping in the city briefly to enjoy a little celebration. They just came from the mountains up north.
That is fantastic. Laughing steels, you said.
Yes,
Sounds like people you'd want to meet.
I recommend it.
I might step over there once they've had a couple more and the judgment's not exactly good enough to notice who I am.
By the looks of things, I'd say the judgment's already not great.
I would agree with you.
But you do what you wish. And she continues on. And with that, we're going to open the next group of people. So, the
Is it
three
us?
of you... Huh?
Is it us?
It is you.
Yes, it is.
The three of you have finally, after traveling all day, reached the tavern. The door swinging open to allow the bowler-hatted individual in the distance to make his way out. He walks down the street whistling a faint tune. And as you make your way closer towards the door to the tavern, what do you do?
Well, darn it, I guess we go in.
By all means! So,
You're really not living much of a choice.
the door within the tavern flies open.
Certainly.
And who wants to introduce themselves first?
What's the
Who wants to
question?
describe themselves physically?
Let's just go down the line.
I'm going in last, so.
Alright, well you went in first, I'm assuming, so you start.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like on his own. It's cool.
Okay,
It's cool.
which
Alright.
one would you
We're
notice
both
first?
there together. Ooh.
What?
Probably him.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
if it makes you more
Would
comfortable, we can
they?
start with you.
Would they really notice him first?
That's
Probably, yeah. He's much
That's a
bigger than
19
you.
on perception.
That's
Yeah, you
true.
notice them.
Simultaneously, both of you at the same time. Go.
I can't
Alright,
say
go.
both of you
Alright,
at the same time.
I'll go.
Okay, Brett, go.
I'll go for it. I'm a big tall guy. Let me see. I wrote it down. 6'2", 190 pounds, so kind of just a tall guy, and a vaguely European-looking man. Blonde hair, blue eyes, fair hair. Don't even. I know what you're doing. I'm watching you. Wearing like armor, wearing like chainmail armor, right, with the hood. The hood's down because that looks better, and like a tunic over it with like you printed it off.
I did print it off for you.
You printed it off, which was very very kind. This on it,
We should show
and show it to the camera. Hi.
Yep, there you go.
This is on it, and am I missing anything of any significance?
You have a big old great sword.
Oh
in your
yeah,
back.
huge sword and a shield and an axe.
Yep. And Elise?
Hers is so much better.
You came prepared. The first thing you notice are bright red curls, which fall to her waist and frame her pale, freckle-ridden face. When looking at her face, you see what appears to be a large web-like scar creeping up her neck. Looking up past the rest of her sharp, angular features, you see her eyes, which appear to be glazed over like a frosted window in the winter. With every word she utters and every breath she takes, you notice a puff of air come from her mouth. She's also dressed in very black clothes, lots of layers. Lots and lots of layers. And is clutching a staff in one hand and is on his arm with the other.
Alright. And following those two into the tavern.
Well, first, I want to make a perception check.
Make a perception check.
All of them.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yes.
keep your eyes open.
Please do.
That's a 20.
At the moment, looking around in the dark shadow, there's a couple of shifty figures moving, but none of them are pausing long enough to be following you.
Cool.
Alright,
Poke my head in.
poking your head into the tavern. Go ahead.
see. This is a real fluffy, always start with that, hunched over. It's very tall, almost as tall as him, but slunched over. And it's got a really ugly goblin-like face, and just basic leather armor, hide with that symbol somewhere. And he's got a short bow, a rapier, and a lot of daggers. And he's just kind of just looking around.
Big ugly Chewbacca looking.
Big ugly, yeah.
Yep.
So
And
a big fluffy goblin-like dude.
Yeah.
And you see everyone I described, as well as these. Well, sitting next to these two is he's a kind of hunched up looking man. He's fully clothed all the way to gloves on his hands, and he wears a mask up covering underneath his eyes and a very wide floppy brimmed hat. And his hands are covered in bandages, and he's just kind of hunched over next to these two.
Sorry, I was trying to find my mini.
Go ahead, Victoria.
It's in that pocket.
I am a very bright blue-eyed tortoiseshell tabaxi, which is a cat person.
Oh, thank you.
I'm a cat who walks on two legs, and I'm currently wearing leather like tradesman clothes, like I've just been working like in a guild or something along those lines. I also have with me a sack that has all my armor, and I have a long sword and a flail, and I also have a crossbow that just kind of is hanging out next to me.
Okay. So the three of you enter in. You see all of this tavern. What are you doing?
Do they not need my?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You skipped him.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So, in sharp contrast to the tabaxi catwoman person sitting here, you see this rather large, rather short human male with long, kind of dark, kind of dirty-looking hair. And although when you initially come in, his back is to you. As he turns, you notice this just kind of blobby face with this enormous walrus mustache and gigantic nose. You're not exactly sure whether it's pointy or bulbous, but you just know it's there and it's saying, "Hey, look at me." Very, very red. Wears a small, like almost pince-nez glasses. I don't know how to pronounce that word, but small circular lenses. Very dark eyes. Very prominent eyebrows. Wearing tweeds, as you might expect from like C.S. Lewis, Professor Lee. Appears to be wearing a sack on his back and has a long staff that seems to be covered in like fur or fuzz or carpet. You're not really sure.
Question. Do either of you smell particularly of anything?
Yes.
What?
Alcohol.
I'm
Both of
calling
you?
shit.
Do you smell particularly like anything?
You're allergic to her, but only just.
The other dude smells like blood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ew.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, so I have blood, alcohol, and anything. Do you smell like anything?
I would say no.
Cat,
that's exclusive,
presumably.
So,
That's
Milk.
true.
So,
Cat.
Cat.
Okay,
Cat.
fair.
All right. So the three of you enter in and see everything. What are you doing? It's not done.
But I was gonna wear a bow tie tonight.
Ah, are you wearing it?
No.
Oh.
Oh, right now?
Oh. Yeah.
No,
Sure.
I threw it away.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You didn't.
Yes, let's.
Let's go find a table if there's an empty one.
There is multiple empty tables. It does not appear to be terribly busy tonight.
I'm looking at you, reminding you of things.
There are not. It does not appear to be terribly busy. There are many empty tables.
I go to the corner table. To the corner of the room.
Yep, you go to the corner of
Okay.
the room and you just, without saying a word, turn, walk to the corner of the room and slap yourself down.
And I'll sit
So-
on the one not facing the rest of the room.
Fair enough. You got your back to the rest of the room?
How do you know?
Okay. And are you just joining them?
Yeah, I'll just join him.
Alright.
It's not hard to tell.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, us?
Anyone. Anyone doing anything. You guys are situated right next to the laughing
How
steel
tall
that I
are you?
mentioned earlier.
I'm about 5'10", and really skinny.
Okay.
I mean, under a lot of clothes,
She's tall.
but like really thin. I'm really tall and thin.
I'm tall and floofy, in case you're wondering.
Floofy?
Yeah.
Floofy. He's
Yeah.
He's like a big Chewbacca looking dude.
But uglier.
But
Are,
a goblin? What?
Yeah, but uglier.
Oh, okay.
Also, my
is-
hair is
Is
not.
that group of four still like rambunctiously kind of hey?
Yeah, they seem to be doing pretty good for themselves.
Okay.
They're having a good time. They're right next to the musician, and they're just
Okay.
holding their own little thing. The halfling has already been through multiple drinks since you got there. His cheeks are flushed red, and he's looking just a bit energetic.
I'm
He's got
gonna
a twinkle in his eye.
He's a little silly tonight.
He's a little goofy.
I'm gonna go up to the laughing scales and try and strike up a conversation.
Okay. So you walk up to these two very intimidating but very entertaining looking individuals, full plate armor.
I am gonna down the rest of my shot before I
As you get closer, you notice a large bag next to the female.
Can
And
I?
as you, it appears to be closed.
Okay. No blood or anything leaking out of it.
Make a perception check.
That's a 16.
There is a little bit of a red stain on the underside, and there appears to be a small bit of acid leaking out of it.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Here, you're the laughing scales.
They both kind of turn and look at you, and the man turns. Can we help you?
Well, as a matter of fact, you can. I hear you're all the dragon slayers.
He kind of sits up a little taller, and we are dragon slayers. And Haley kind of smacks him on the shoulder, and she's like, "He's a pompous idiot." Yeah, sure.
Like recently dragon slayers,
Yes.
or like for a long time, like a career kind of thing.
It's been a career for about 5 years.
So you would know a lot about dragons then.
Yeah, we've killed about 5.
Yeah, I've found them fascinating creatures
I will
myself.
climb down.
Studied
They
them
are.
for a long time. So,
I should probably like put
you'll,
yours.
I hear you all recently had a successful run, as you might say.
She
I
kind
think
of
it's already
grabs the bag and lifts it, and I mean, this thing's like yay big, and she's one arm just boom onto the table, and she pulls it back, and you see the lolled head of a green dragon.
That is fantastic.
Tongue laid slapped out onto the table, eyes kind of oogling into the distance, and acid dripping from the fangs.
Wow, that is quite a specimen right there. Now, I've seen a lot of dragons in my day, and this one, it's in good shape.
You've seen a lot of dragons in your day.
As a matter of fact, I have. I studied them,
Really?
among other things.
Tell me
So
more.
now you know that if you go for the dragon at the base of the throat there, where the acid, well, for this particular kind of dragon, that's where the acid sac would live. If you cut out that part and just reach in and yank out, you can actually disable the breath weapon while keeping the beast alive. It don't hit any vital organs.
Peter, write this down. You see Peter like scrounging for a note and paper and starts scribbling.
This one
What
you've
are you
got here,
saying?
it looks like how you cut it here, you've actually cut right through that bile sac where that acid is stored, which means that you can't, to a cellar, you're not necessarily going to get this much because that nice bit right there in the bottom,
A cellar?
not a cellar, a bile sac. B-I-L-E.
No, you said you're not going to get as much if you sell it.
Sorry, I'm drunk. It's a buyer. If you sell it to somebody,
Okay, who cares?
don't you want to
We
sell
can-
this thing?
You can do that?
Did you not know? I mean, I'm one of the people who would normally buy one. I'm a little bit short on cash at the moment. Hang on, I'm doing my work here. I'm a little bit short on cash at the moment, but normally I would be very interested in this kind of thing. As it is, I'm willing to take a little bit off of you, not too much, but just enough, maybe, I don't know, 2-3 gold pieces worth.
Of what?
Just the dragon, like an eye, something like that.
Sure.
All right,
We'll make that trade.
I'll hand him 2-3 gold.
3 gold.
3 gold.
She just pulls out a dagger and just goes
Hang
straight
on.
into the eye.
Can I have the other one? I'll remove it. I'm a scientist,
By all means.
so I will very carefully remove that eyeball and try and wrap it in something so that it won't exactly.
You remove the eye and you just grab a napkin from the table and just wrap it.
And pocket it.
Okay.
Now that is a fine specimen there, and I must say,
It appears to have been an adult green dragon.
that is a very impressive feat you've managed to accomplish here.
We've been doing it for years. We get paid maybe 200,000-300,000 gold per dragon,
That's impressive.
depending on the type of dragon, how much of a nuisance it is. But
What part of the city, not necessarily this city, but what part of the country were you in?
we're actually from a little bit further south of here.
And that's where this dragon was.
It was. I don't know what that was. Oh, it's right now.
That's unfortunate.
We're from the city of Kalina, south of here. It's about maybe a 3-4 weeks drive south.
Alina, I can't say I've been there.
In a cart.
The name rings a bell.
Alright, anything else we can do for you?
Oh, I mean, not especially. I mean, you can definitely keep in touch with me. Name's Ruffner.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. Haley.
Haley, nice to meet
Haley
you.
Lavrovsky.
Dr. Ruffner Abenthy, I've got a mailing address in Zaha. If you just send it to University of Phoenix, if you find anything interesting on any of these dragons that you're like, man, I think that someone could get a bit of a interesting insight from this, just mail it on to there. I'll pay you back later for the cost of the postage and a little bit of extra for your work.
By all means, we'd love to. That would be wonderful. You said it was Ruffner Abenthy?
Yes, Dr. Ruffner Abenthy.
Peter, write that down. And Peter's continuing to scurry away.
I feel bad for Peter.
He killed the dragon. He's doing well for himself.
Okay.
Do I recognize their tattoos?
Make a history check.
A religion check?
Yeah, do a religion check. That's a better idea.
It's not good. It's like less than 7. It's probably like a 5.
No.
I forgot to pull up my character sheet.
Outright, it doesn't appear to be terribly religious. It's just symbolic. But they're both wearing similar tattoos.
Okay.
Very similar.
Yeah, that was a 5.
Are you guys doing anything?
Yes, we like to flag down the waitstaff.
Oh, yeah.
Or more specifically, I like to flag down the waitstaff.
As you see the big old boisterous man start to make his way towards the 2 heavily armored warriors in the room, the May actually already made her way over to you. Hey, what can I get for you this evening?
Hello, we'd like to order some drinks, please. And might I say, you have a lovely, lovely tavern here.
Oh, thank you very much. What can I get for you?
We'll start with my friend here. What would you like to order?
Just a plain ale, please.
Plain ale, I can do that right up.
Can I have a beer?
Absolutely. And for the big one,
Ale.
They're on the
what was that?
Ale.
Coming right up.
And while I have you here, can I ask you a slightly random question?
Of course.
I'm new to this area. I haven't been to the city since I was quite small. But I keep hearing the name Tim Finnegan thrown around a lot. Does that mean anything to you at all, that name?
Finnegan was an old friend. I'll meet you after we close, if you'd like, and we can chat.
Certainly.
That would be lovely.
They're on like the other side of the bar.
Actually, they're near the Laughing Steels. What's your passive perception?
10.
You probably didn't hear this exchange.
Did I hear what they ordered to drink?
No, you would not have heard that. You would not have heard that and not heard Tim Finnegan. You would have heard both or neither. So, and you were in the middle of a conversation about a dragon. You were pretty excited.
Yeah.
But she scurries off towards the bar and begins to get your drink orders prepared. And as she does that, the door flies open one more time. And Robyn,
Yes. Yes.
the two
yes.
of you enter. Robyn's in front, naturally, but
Yes. I fling the doors open. You see this like real short human girl. She's about 5'2", coated in freckles, like head to toe coated in freckles. And it's got kind of like reddish brown hair, which is currently in like 2 pigtail braids out to her shoulder. And is in a pair of overalls, and which are absolutely nasty. She's clean, but her clothes are just like, they look like she rolled around in like horse shit, and then like tried to like scrape it off on like some carpet or something, and it just like smeared in. So like, yeah, she looks gross. And like kind of a like 3/4 length, like yellow white striped shirt. And she's got these like, the only noticeable piece of clothing, she's got like this fanny pack thing going on, just kind of towards the front. That's like the only like personal items you can see on her, aside from like a pair of ratty old boots that for some reason don't have any holes in them. And yeah, she just bursts on in.
and following immediately behind her.
Well, you see kind of a slightly taller male human. He's like pale, but he's like dressed all in. He's like got pale skin, which contrasts sharply with like his dark black clothing. Kind of got some folds here and there. Who was kind of put up with, for rain. Kind of, as you can see, like he's got some scrubble for a beard, and for those who are like really have high passive perception, he's got his right eye, which is purple, and then his left eye is blue.
Perception, as you pointed out.
Dang you, Quinn. Why'd you have to be so fast? What's
I'm
your stomach
sorry
cramps?
you can't keep up.
Ah.
We wanted to get here before too dark, and look, it's dark outside already.
Yes,
Well,
yes,
here, that's the
thanks.
important part.
Also, you made some good points and good stuff. I fell behind.
That what?
I need to start working
I
on
was
that.
not listening to that for you.
I'm sorry. I just tend to ramble a lot. Where do you think we should sit?
Who is the most interesting looking person ever?
Definitely either the big Chewbacca-looking dude, the cat girl, or the two people coated in golden tattoos.
I absolutely freeze for like 0.3 seconds.
Also, there's a
and just
dragon
like,
head on that
Oh
table.
yeah, there's a
Yeah,
dragon
there's a
head
dragon
on
head
the
on
table
the
with the people with golden
I
tattoos.
can't. I'm torn between going away from the person in the corner or away from the dragon. I freeze.
I'm also just staring at the cat with like.
As the two of you stay frozen, a little halfling who's walking on top of the bar kind of eyes you and, "Hi, what can I get for you? Hasn't much you come in, stop open up the door."
They're going to give those children I need that.
Lots of people who want to drink.
Okay.
What can I get for you today?
Yes, I will just have water, and I'll have whatever you have, whatever meal you have ready available at this moment.
It's a little after dinner time, but I can probably whip something up if you're interested.
Anything cold, whatever. I don't like sleeping on an empty stomach. What about you?
Strongest thing you got.
Are you trying to compensate for something?
On that note, she pops back up to the bar and comes back shortly after with just it's a clear liquid that just smells like hand sanitizer in front of you, and for you it's water and bread.
Oh well. Bon
They
appetit.
order lamb food here.
Yeah, they definitely ordered that for you to
How
hear.
big of a glass?
Definitely like a full blown like thing, and it smells like rubbing alcohol.
And
You-
Demay walks by.
Can I smell
What
it
is that?
from?
Yeah, you can definitely smell it.
Demay, what is that?
Yes, I want to see.
Oh, that's just the strongest vodka I've got.
Do you know what it's from? Do you know what vintage?
Oh, it's imported from down south.
From down south. Do you know what it is?
Pretty strong.
Sorry.
It comes straight from Maverellia itself.
Maverelli and Volga.
They're known for their vodka.
I know that. That is fantastic. I might actually steal some of those in a minute. I can't afford it.
It's my most expensive drink.
That's why I'm going to politely ask for a sip rather than buy one off of you.
Wonderful. And she
Good
continues.
luck with that.
My tail.
As she walks back here, if you're interested, Mount, that's going to be 2 gold pieces for that drink.
Yeah, it smells like vapor rub. Vapor rub.
Pass it over.
He's got like vapor rub on his notepad.
It's her drink. So, are you paying?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, okay.
How much is it for my
Honestly,
Pass it.
oh, it's nasty.
Like that drink you created
drink.
in the calf, nasty? Quit.
I'm not I still have a picture of it. I don't know what's going on, guys.
You should only sip it. Like, just saying, you know.
I'll just say yes to that.
I'm just gonna try. I'm gonna try and stop you from like
Maybe.
trying.
Okay.
To, like,
You're like,
I feel like my gaze here.
you weren't really.
Jeez, that's so expensive.
Where did you sit down again?
Reset.
We're at the bar.
Oh, so you're next to us.
Oh.
Listen, when you do something like this,
Yeah,
you
you
don't.
So, what is everyone doing? Y'all are all in the same place.
I'm watching this happen.
Okay.
Why? Okay. Listen. Here's how you do it.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
I hope you don't mind.
Okay.
Never mind. Because,
Well,
okay.
I'm
Oh,
not
your
thinking about
drinks have
drinks.
come. Your drinks have come.
Okay.
She got you your drinks before she got them their drinks.
okay.
So,
So,
what you do is usually
guess we just chill for a while since we're about to get some information later.
you
Okay.
tend to like take a small sip. However, if you want to
So-
do it,
As everyone is
gonna act like I'm
Relaxing in the tavern and kind of settling in and eyeing the place out, the boisterous-looking halfling sitting at the table kind of rises in his chair and then climbs onto the table itself. Oh wait.
Okay.
The halfling, who has clearly had too much to drink already, stumbles onto the table in front of his two large seamen and
Like,
the
maybe
maiden
leave
man.
the room as I go to the bathroom.
Alright. You're missing the best part.
Oh, I know what this is. I'll stand over here.
So, he staggers onto the table and you're, it's been recommended to me that I share a little story about a buddy of mine that I heard. So, this one's out to you, old Timmy boy, wherever ye be. My boy Timmy died a while back, and this story is about his funeral. This is Finnegan's wake.
Oh.
And
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm singing.
Go.
Clap for me. On beat. Tim Finnegan lived in Walking Street, a gentleman Irishman, right young. He'd seen a broad so rich and sweet, to rise in the world he carried a pot. Tim had a sort of a fickling way with a love for the liquor, now he was born. Helped in love with his wife each day, to be top of the creature every morn. Out for the dawn, now there's your partner, what the fuck you trying to say? Wasn't it the truth they told you, lots of fun at Finnegan's wake? I'm not done. One morning Tim felt rather full, his head felt heavy which made him shake. Fell from the ladder and he burst his skull, they carried him home, his corpse still wet. Laid him up in a nice clean sheet, laid him out upon the bed. A gallon of whiskey at his feet and a barrel poured out his head. What put it on, now there's your partner, what the fuck you tried to say? Wasn't it the truth they told you, lots of fun at Finnegan's wake? Turns a symbol that the wake and Mrs. Finnegan called for lunch. First they brung in tea, then cake, then pasta, back and whiskey punch. Billy O'Brien began to cry. Such a nice clean corpse did you ever see? Tim Varn in the way you die. Shut your gob, says Paddy McGee. Why for the yarn, now there's your partner, what the fuck you gonna say? Wasn't it the truth they told you, lots of fun at Finnegan's wake? Pity, oh you can keep going. Pick up the door, a piece of shield on and shore. He gave her a belt and a gold, then he left her scrolling on the floor. In the wars until the rage, woman to woman and man to man. Shutting law was all the rage, and a wild erection soon began. Pretty Malone, he lowered his head as a bottle of whiskey flew at him. This upon on the bed and liquor scattered over Tim. I missed the part. Tim revives, see how he rises. Timothy rising from the bed. Well, your whiskey ran like blazes, thundering down, do you think I'm dead? What put it on, now that's the thunder, what the fuck you trying to say? Wasn't it the truth they told you, lots of fun at Finnegan's wake? And then the halfling falls clean off the table and passes out.
Entertaining. That's gonna be my favorite time we sung that song. Was
All I know is
Yes.
he was dead.
I forgot to do it in context, but I wanted to remember what the street name was that he said.
Perhaps Walking Street.
Walken Street. Like Christopher Walken Street?
Mhm. But
Yeah, I don't understand any
We
of that.
could not
It was
that's
amazing.
totally fine.
Also
What
he
he
was
said, I'll outline it for you. The song was about Tim Finnegan dying, his funeral, and then a bottle of whiskey scattered over him, and he revived, said, thunder and Jesus, do you think I'm dead? And then partied. So that is what was the story that he was singing about his old friend Tim Finnegan. And now he was passed out on the floor, but he's starting to kind of get up and collect himself, and the sailor dwarf and the half-orc woman are kind of heaving him into his chair, and he's kind of giddy laughing as he falls over again, and the room scattered with a handful of applause as people enjoyed the song, some of which thought it was a little too much, but what are you gonna do? So, what are you guys doing?
She quotes two things of that.
Drink of the vodka?
And then proceeded to start
I like
coughing
the towel.
incessantly, because I've never
Also,
done
the
that
gaudy.
before.
Did I miss anything?
Oh, no. Did you?
He said the song.
20
Right.
You know, there's a couple
Almost expensive and wow.
Get alcohol.
It's seen an prompting to typical around these parts.
You
But are you ungrateful? You didn't order it. You don't have to
I
order
don't.
it.
I prefer to keep
Well, yes,
clear head.
nothing like this.
Considering it's today.
Sometimes events today, I really definitely need a not clear head.
Oh well.
There's definitely a time on
Hey,
it.
DM, hey, how close until the tavern closes?
Probably another hour.
I don't remember been to a tavern before this trip.
Wow. That's quite amazing.
It would have been seen improper.
And you're gonna go interact with people.
Give me a hot second. I gotta read my notes.
What are we doing here? No, what tavern? Yeah, I haven't seen that.
After the song, the redheaded woman pulls out a flute and begins playing a gentle melody.
You said the halfling dude's still here?
Yeah, he's sitting in his chair. He's giggling to himself at this point and hiccuping a good bit.
I still like
Yes, how are you doing?
Another figure enters the tavern at this point. Heavily cloaked man with knee-high boots kind of stalks in. He's got one arm clearly missing just below the elbow and a heavy limp, but he just kind of staggers into the room and limps his way up to the bar front, and Demay comes and meets him and scatters off with his drink order.
How close is he to us?
2, 3 seats down.
How close is he?
I'm gonna go.
You guys are in the back corner, so he's on the other, like he's in the front of the, or you guys are near the door, back corner, he's at the bar itself.
I have a quick question. How competent does this group look, or how competent do you think you all look?
Definitely the one clad in full chainmail with a huge sword clearly looks like the most competent. But the other one in the back is a very large, shifty-looking figure that looks like he slit his throat, and then the other one's a little girl. You draw connections.
Perhaps we should go ask if it's all right.
Okay, they look like they.
I'm gonna go ask that guy if he's injured.
See you. And stride up to the man who just entered the tavern, who's sipping from a large mug.
Pardon me, good sir. Are you injured? Do you need any help?
It's an old wound. From a child. It's fine. I'm fine.
All
Out
right.
of years.
All right. Pardon me for your troubles.
What
I'm
happened?
gonna go sit down.
There was a sound.
It's a long story.
Got all nice.
I glide my way
And
to a
some
table over
really
here.
I'm
really
gonna go
nice
back and
something.
sit down because now I feel awkward.
Reaches out and grabs it and just like downs it and then slaps the empty thing and just I'll tell you. When I was a little boy, I used to go out and play in this abandoned castle near where I lived. It was a small fort, not much more than a handful of rooms and a wall, but to me it was a castle. And I would go and I would play there every day with my brother, but one day I went to play on my own, and while I was there was a woman. And I didn't know who she was, but she was sobbing, she was crying, I didn't know what was going on, so I asked her if she was okay, and she told me that there had been an attack. So I did what any brave 15-year-old would do. I grabbed my short sword and I followed her in the direction. And we came upon a slaughter. It was within the castle walls of another keep. There were bodies scattered as far as you could see. Horses, people, anything and everything was there. And she was wading through the bodies with me. We were looking for her child. We found her child. It was not dead, but an infant crying. And we gathered the infant and the woman, and in stalked the creature that caused the mayhem. Coming from inside the castle, a large hill giant stalked back in. And so I played dead. And the woman did not, because the hill giant had actually sent her out to find it food. And she told the hill giant she had been unable to find more food. So the hill giant told her to cook the baby into a baby pie. And she said she would not, and the hill giant told her that he would eat her. And to satiate his hunger, he reached for the freshest looking corpse that he could find, which was me. He heaved me up by my leg, carved a was able to hold my tongue and keep from screaming, but only just. Then when he left, after leaving her to prepare a baby pie, I got up, bandaged my leg, and we decided that we couldn't cook the baby itself. So we did the only thing we could. A giant can tell the difference of taste between a baby and an adult. So we cut off the baby's thumb and cooked that into a pie. And then I ran off with the baby, and she gave the pie to the giant. To this day, I don't know if it worked or not, but I survived.
Wow. Thanks for sharing.
Sir, might I buy you a drink for your troubles?
Where are they?
They're at the bar.
Okay, so we.
Yeah, you can definitely hear it.
Everybody in the tavern just staring.
Everyone at the time is staring at this new man. I love that.
Wonderful.
He downs his ale that he already had. Sit down.
What kind of drink does he have?
He had ale, then he was handed the vodka that the little girl brought, downed that, down to the ale, and now whatever you give him.
What would you like, sir?
A little fire whiskey would be nice.
Yes, I'll just flag her down and order.
Orders him a shot of fire whiskey, and he just downs that.
So can you teach me how to drink alcohol? Because he's not doing like the greatest job.
There's a trick.
Uh-huh.
You throw it back. You don't let it touch your tongue. No one likes the taste of alcohol, at least not until you've had a good bit.
Okay, that's fair.
So we could start with shots,
Mhm.
and you throw it back into the back of your throat, and you swallow it as fast as you can. And then after a while, the taste becomes bearable.
Sir, perhaps you'd like to come and dine with me and my companions. I think the child has had enough alcohol.
Excuse you.
One of your
I mean, no
companions is a
offense.
child. One of your companions is a child. The legal
Older.
drinking
Older.
age in this city is like 12. She's allowed to do what she wishes.
My apologies.
I would start with something a little lighter than, what was the town again? I forgot.
Maveralia.
I would start with something a little lighter than Maveroli and vodka. Just saying.
Where is this coming from? A
He's
table nearby?
sitting
No,
like
we're
at the
at
bar.
the
Oh, he's
bar.
out there at the bar.
Are
Okay.
you on the
At
other
the
side?
bar.
Wait, is it like farther
It's
down?
on the other side.
Yeah.
Jesus, everyone in this town like listening to everything.
Well, you'll talk rather loud.
The dwarf from the table, the dwarf Steven's like, we do! Alright, what are you guys doing?
I'm going to return to my table, but you have a wonderful evening.
It was a pleasure meeting you. What was your name?
Titus. And
Titus.
yours, sir?
Emmett.
Pleasure.
Emmett Brightwood.
Pleasure.
You know, Titus Andromachus is not a good Shakespeare play. I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, he's Titus Julianus.
Yes.
But it's
Well,
different.
because that's so much better.
It's so much different.
Also,
How many
where
ends
you
is
find
that?
that.
Just one.
Just one.
5.
Alright, what are you guys
Just
doing?
for you.
I'm waiting.
As
until-
many as you want, Tyler.
I'm waiting until Brett gets there.
To my table?
Yes.
Yeah, he's.
I'm currently
Sure,
sitting
I
at your
can
table.
be there.
Oh, you're sitting at
Wait,
the
what?
table?
What?
What?
I said I glided to his table.
Well, they're both
No,
sitting
We're
at
all
the
still
table.
sitting at the
Still
table.
sitting there.
Howdy.
He just glides up and takes Titus's seat as Titus goes to the bar. We're backtracking.
Oh, this is someone else's seat. Scurry up, grab another chair.
Are you sitting at their table?
Yes.
Okay.
I just grabbed another seat from someone.
He sounds rather small.
I do want to listen if I can, but not leave the bar.
At the moment, you are still having your conversation.
Yeah,
This is happening while
Like me, but less
uh,
fluffy.
he went to offer
May
the dude to drink.
Okay, I'm just gonna listen to that.
And then you
Okay.
But whatever if there's a conversation at the bar, go listen to that.
That's what you're
Okay,
listening
That's
to.
gonna be
I want to listen to the dude with
you,
one
let
arm.
me see.
Yeah, he's currently telling you a story as this is
uh,
going on.
Aren't you like magical in some capacity?
Who just walks up to a person, a table,
Yes.
in the back corner of a tavern, and asks if a person is magical?
I just did.
I don't even know what to say.
Do you want me to get rid of this guy for?
Don't you even try that. I'm sorry. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. My name is Robyn, and I'm just looking.
Barring what?
Mine is all I will say right now.
Okay, nice to meet you, Robyn. And what will you be?
I'm looking for some competent people
I made
to
a
help me with something. Like
made
a
a
small issue.
I made a
Shame on you.
What kind of issue?
You know, the usual. Someone is stealing your identity.
How far into this conversation do they get before?
Yeah, I need to know.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Do you?
Why would anyone want us to see her identity?
That is a very good question. That is a very good question. And I don't have answers to, but I hope to find answers too soon.
At this point, Emmett is done telling his story, and everyone else can listen in on this.
Ben, where'd you go?
I'm not even gonna answer that.
I see him and I walk up and plop down.
Hello. Hi.
Oh yeah, this is my companion, Quinn. We may as well be brother and sister, but we're not.
But we're not even close. Don't listen to him. We're not even close to brother and sister. We are stuck together because these stupid color armbands. Color armbands.
Yeah,
Also, that was the other-
when
also-
she lifts her arm and her sleeve falls back, it's not necessarily an armband, it's more like her skin just changes color for a brief ring, and then continues. You're wearing a green one, and Baron lifts his arm, and you see a
No, I
pink.
don't have it.
No, it's your lucky one.
Where's it on?
His
Yeah.
skin is just, it's like made out
No,
of
I
a
put
pink
it on my
metal.
right very intentionally.
Pink
Yes.
metal?
What can I
Yes.
can I see anything on them or in the tavern in general?
You can see the big bearded man sitting at the table with the halfling and the two fishermen and the musician.
The bearded man.
Yep.
Okay.
You can see him sitting there, just enjoy. He's not talking necessarily. He's just kind of laughing every now and then at jokes and listening. Should have mentioned that earlier. I'm sorry. Forgot that.
Yeah.
Oh, she had her back.
That's true.
I get it.
That's true.
Has anyone
Although
talked
we
to the
walked in.
halfling?
I like to talk.
At the moment, the two
I don't know who they are.
fisher-looking people.
Zeesman
are
talking. What are we talking about?
I wanted to keep an eye out for
I was
anyone
actually
talking
hoping
to him
to
who wasn't in
maybe
their
have
boat
some
group.
more people
Yeah,
come
yes,
in
I
and venture.
Okay.
No one else has made a
Oh, you guys looking for adventure?
What?
Why there?
You are back.
Don't worry, I already told him about the fact that I'm
Sorry,
looking
we're
to
taking
help
your seat.
with people who
Oh,
stole our identities.
that's no trouble.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this your seat? I can move.
Oh,
but
it's no trouble.
No, one of dudes sold.
Too late.
They're all on the
He's
table
on
in the back.
And they all went to that. How much of their
What
conversation?
sort of adventure are two of you
If you're listening in, all over.
Espionage, intrigue,
If there's nothing else.
swashbuckling fights. I pull out my short
trying,
sword.
No. We're just trying to prove our innocence. Okay. Someone thinks we murdered someone else, and it's a lie.
murdered?
Yeah,
but
but we
we
didn't.
wouldn't be able to.
Quite unfortunate.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
That is rough, to say the least.
Yeah.
If I might ask, what are the circumstances of your framing?
Framing is that someone transformed into us and used ourselves to.
Here's the thing. So like we never met before, but I was like walking down this alley. It was really nice out. I like said hi to a tree and some of our friends. And then there was like this alley, and I heard like laughing and noise, and I saw this dude right, and then down the alleyway comes me and another one of him, and then we got accused of murder.
I think she also smelled like Stewart during that time.
That is.
I feel like you skipped a step.
Agreed.
Yes. It seems the story is missing
A lot.
a murder.
Oh yeah, let me see if I can remember. It was like a council person.
Yeah,
a council person.
Have you
yes.
heard of Councilman Financier?
Have I heard of him?
Yeah. You were your
Yes,
uncle.
yes, he works with my uncle.
Oh.
Oh well, yeah, he's dead now. These things slit his throat, and
dead?
yes, yeah,
Is
just
my
like
uncle
earlier
alive?
today. I don't know who's your uncle. He's not Councilman Financier, is he?
No.
Well, no, as far as I'm fine.
Oh, that's a relief.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Basically, we're trying to find the faceless. That's the thing. Faceless, yeah.
I feel that after I help you, I may have to
Who's your uncle?
I'm gonna insight to see if
Another council member.
16.
Councilman Julianus.
No.
Yeah.
You've heard, you've never heard the name.
You
I've
might
heard of the council of Julianus.
I'm sure the alcohol's not going into your head.
I barely drank any of it.
Have you heard of last name?
Me? He just said like something about the
Yeah,
council.
we were having a conversation.
Oh, okay. Roll a history check.
That's a natural 20.
Absolutely, you have. You've worked with them.
In Zaha?
You've worked with one of their delegates in Sahab, but you actually have, at one point, his uncle actually came to Sahab to do a trade deal, and you worked with him through the university, on behalf of the university, and then he went back.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't think we've introduced ourselves. Hi, I'm Quinn.
Pleasure.
Hi. Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Hello. What are your names?
Well, I suppose I'll introduce myself first. My name is Titus Julianus.
Nice to meet you, Titus.
Pleasure.
you, because you look like the more interesting character.
Okay, fine.
No offense to you.
Excuse you. Fly over. You're like, and then you just insult them. We want to be
You
your
just
friends.
assume his race, then you ask if I'm magical, and then you say he's more interesting.
I honestly do tend to do that a lot. It's a paranoid thing.
It's
fine.
alright, you'll work on it.
I hope so.
Would you care to introduce yourself first, or would you like me to?
I can call you Fuzzy.
I'm Rose. I'm Rose. And
Gristle McThornbody.
Don't go and use a name like that.
Is he telling the truth?
Is that actually true?
Can I roll an
I guess I
Do I believe him?
Do I believe?
Based on their
Roll an
reactions,
insight check.
do I believe him?
Roll an insight check.
I didn't actually laugh, but I'm hiding my face.
Really?
Anyone with a decent roll?
Above a 15.
18.
19?
22.
He...
Deception check.
How to drink
Alright.
I mean persuasion. Definitely not my name.
He is very, much covering his, mouth and looking at his feet, and he was like, Grizzle McThorn, step. And, he looks super uncomfortable and not happy to be there.
I'll just call him Fuzzy.
Whatever.
if you don't give them a name, they're going to call you Fuzzy.
Might want to
And
go
that
not
means
me.
you're having problems.
Might want to go ahead and give them your name.
Is it?
Look, I know names are weird. You don't have to tell me your real name, but I'm just gonna call you Fuzzy.
Go get another shot of that cream whiskey.
Yeah, Fuzzy's in the back.
Coming right up.
So what was your name? I believe I was Scott when you introduced yourself.
I'm very sorry.
That's 1 silver per shot. Per
Titus,
glass.
I'm
Two,
calling
second
Titus.
shot.
Titus,
Well,
thank you.
civic, but-
My name is Barman, by the way.
I'm on my second shot now.
Not Brian.
What did you say, Dave? Sorry.
What was that?
I've been listening. Bar? Like
I'm trying to
bar?
remember these
Bar
names, what
in
my friends are.
Okay.
Oh, like Baron, but not.
Baron, but with an I instead.
When he first sent it in, I thought he said Brian, and I
No.
was horribly upset.
That may have been an inspiration for that.
You're welcome.
Well, I fear that I may not be able to do much to help the two of you except get you connected with a good litigator that can speak on your behalf.
That's kind of impossible because we have been we've already been processed. through the
Yeah,
system.
yeah, and we basically have to solve it or we're dead in the end of the year.
You've already been sentenced.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
what these are.
between and I'm gonna reveal my own which is pink.
They just announced this whole
Not my
thing
choice.
that they
She
wanted.
took it.
Yeah, and you notice, if you're looking around,
I am.
the Laughing Steels overheard that. Peter drew a dagger and has it sitting on the table, and Haley has grabbed her battle axe and is just kind of leaning on it a little bit, and just they're both looking in that direction. Neither one of you notices this.
We're too busy. We're oblivious
Would
to all this.
I recognize what's on their arm?
Roll a history check. Because you're not
One of
from the
these,
city
right?
itself. Yeah.
I guess that would be
Wait,
15.
were you wearing
15?
sleeves and you moved your
You've
sleeve?
heard
Okay,
They're slightly baggy.
of the
and-
barbaric
that doesn't matter.
level of punishment, essentially. If someone...
so it'd be 17. I'm sorry, it'd be 17.
Wait, well, you've heard of it.
Yeah.
If someone has committed a crime and they're not guilty, but no one is guilty in their place, someone has to be punished, according to the City of Aceivrish. And so, they will be taken, they will be given these armbands, and they will be sent out to find the actual culprit. If they do not, within 1 year of the armband being placed on them, the armband kills them.
Was it like a 1 year, or is it like at the end of the year?
It depends on the sentence,
Okay.
but roughly a year. The armband kills them. If they succeed, it will be removed by the city.
That's barbaric. I'm sorry.
No, well.
Just gonna keep my eye on it.
The laughing skills. They're keeping their eye on it.
I'm gonna put my hand just in my coat.
Okay.
And as he's looking over there, I'm going to like take a glance over.
Yeah. The dangerous looking ones.
Yeah.
With what? We haven't done anything wrong.
At this point, the two sailors who were drinking with the halfling get up and drop coin on the table. And
You'd like to speak to the code?
thanks to
Okay.
me.
Simultaneously.
The halflings will laugh.
The three of
The
us.
three of us
Well, the bearded man is still sitting with the halfling.
The three of us
Actually, no,
simultaneously.
the halfling is alone. You never saw the bearded man leave.
Three of us simultaneously get up from the table and excuse ourselves. Very nice meeting the two of you. If you would like some legal assistance, please.
Where are you going?
We have our own problems.
Bye! I'm gonna walk over
Oh,
to
he's
the
gone.
halfling. He's gone?
Oh, yeah.
We went.
He never left.
Also, the bearded man left.
What?
You never saw him leave, but he's gone.
Beat you to it.
I'm
Perception check.
I didn't see him leave?
Nope. He's gone.
12.
He's gone.
As soon as they leave, I'm gonna
What should
walk
we
over
do
to the
now?
halfling.
Okay, so they're going to the halfling.
I try to beat them.
Okay.
Perhaps.
We are listening
Very
very carefully.
At the moment, every
Yes, let's
one
go
in the
let's go
tavern
see
that's
these
not
guys.
one of the two laughing steels or Emmett is making their way towards the halfling.
Well,
I
Maurice is
actually,
hanging out with us.
Oh, right, that's like
What he
I
is
sit
doing.
back and bring out my crossbow and just
sitting
wait.
kind of
What are you waiting for?
Just-
What?
I was about to say I bought him a book, but then I realized.
probably he's sitting contemplating death.
Did you two leave my table?
Yes.
No, we are waiting.
As soon as you guys stood
And we
up,
left
I
the table.
bolted over towards
No,
that.
yeah, but did you both bolt over?
He just
Nope.
Okay, you're still there.
I'm
Okay,
still
so
there.
you-
Sit.
so you-
Okay, I go back to my seat.
and then you did it.
He's
Okay.
back.
We're leaving it to them.
He's back in the seat. The two of us are going,
Okay,
going
I
to speak
I
to the.
unshouldered my
Friends
bow,
that are
whatever.
still there?
Okay.
The two of us are going to speak to the bearded man's
Okay.
friends.
You mean the halfling?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's literally
that's
what
what they're doing.
Going to talk to He's
Okay.
not. I
Okay,
am.
so the two of you are now sitting at the table, the three of you are going to the halfling,
Yes.
and the two of you are listening in. Alright, so the three of you approach the drunken halfling who's just slumped over the table, kind of giggling to himself.
Look, is he on? Is he like?
Yeah, he's like laying out on the
I
table.
totally
He's got like a
lie
mug.
down on the table so that we can like
Is
make
he
eye
the-
contact.
He's got a mug in his right hand.
Is he the only one there?
Yeah, he's the only one there.
His other friends booked it.
Yep, they left. They bid a good night and paid, and the maid came and cleaned off the table, and now it's just him. So you lay down on
Oh,
the
yeah.
table with them.
Like, hello.
And
Are you
what are
Martin?
you?
Are you Martin?
I am.
Oh, hi.
Do I know you?
I'm Quinn.
I don't think I know you, Quinn.
Well, you don't, but see, somebody told me your name because you're such a cool dude and because you happen to know Tim Finnegan.
He sits up and kind of.
Which your song was super cool.
Thank you very much. How do you know Finny Boy?
Well, see, here's the thing. I don't know him personally, but we found a piece of paper with his name on it, and
He
I'm
pulls
just
out
not finding
a
out.
flask that's this big, and he's much smaller than I am, and he's just like.
Wait, I'm sorry, Quinn. You said you're looking for Tim Finnegan.
Yeah,
you
right.
looking
Are
for
you looking for
Finnegan
Tim
too?
Finnegan too?
Yes, I believe so.
Bet, let's go.
Question.
Did you actually say that?
Who was your
Yes.
bearded friend?
Probably.
Yes, she did.
Don't have a beard. You mean the dolphin man right there? That was Governor Josiah, the dolphin fisherman. Yeah, he's an old friend. And then his wife, the half-orc. And that was
What a lovely couple.
They are indeed. So are you looking for Finny? Why are you looking for him?
Well, we believe that he may know a little something as to the whereabouts of my dear friend's family.
And what's your family?
Let's just say lost for now. I'm not quite.
Are you not what you seem, lass?
What do I see?
I'll take that as a yes. And this one, Quinn.
Hi. Yes. I'm looking for Timmy. Because his name was on a piece of paper that was in a piece of cloth that came off of the faceless people who totally pretended to be me and murdered someone.
How do you know that name?
Which one?
Faceless. Where did you learn that?
That was very, very no, she was okay. This Judge Adrian Tapfield dropped it. It was like,
You spoke with Tathfield.
yeah, she kind of.
You've got the mark of the beast on you.
That doesn't
Listen?
sound good.
Blessings to you. Good luck with that.
No, that's fine. Do you know where he's at, maybe?
You can help me with this.
I haven't seen Finny
Whether
Boy
you
in
know what
now 25 years.
Was your story real?
Aye, true story. I've seen it with my own eye.
Sir, would you perhaps know any way to potentially contact Mr. Finnegan?
I know of a few potential ways. I was gonna make a joke about my eye, and he pulls out a glass eye and pulls it across the table. It's like,
Oh.
but you ruined
Well,
it.
I apologize for the interruption.
You ruined my joke.
Can I snag it?
Yeah, as it rolls across the table, and he doesn't notice. He's way too drunk.
Oh, I totally pocket it.
You have two now?
What?
What?
What? You know nothing.
I knew of a way, potentially to talk to him. Mailed significant other, you could say. She dabbles in a bit of the ways of the magic, if you know what I mean. She might be able to find them.
That's very helpful. Is there any way that we could potentially be in contact with her?
I could take you there in the morning.
That would be very kind, sir. We will certainly discuss it.
Aye, that'd be wonderful. Would you like to come along?
That would be super awesome. If you guys don't mind, of course. I mean, I don't want to invade, but also I really need to follow you guys.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we'll be back to you.
Now,
Who are you? I'm sorry.
Hey, who are you?
sir, would you introduce yourself?
Everyone.
Tweedledum.
Can I just say
And,
that?
and
Oh,
the
Randall
third man
Beard.
with the wide brimmed hat sitting next to them.
and
Contemplating death.
hobo
Also,
and
just,
hobo
to,
sounds.
just to be sure, you said it was the halfling, two dwarves, and the bearded man, right?
Yes, I've said
Okay,
that multiple
I
times.
know.
What's the barmaid lady doing during all this? She's
Cleaning glasses.
doing whatever.
She's cleaning up after everyone.
She's
The laughing steels, as this conversation has gone on, the laughing steels kind of got up and made themselves scarce. Much more skeptical now. Like weapons clutched as they walked out, keeping an eye on those two. But after they left, she came and cleaned up the blood and acid on their table and has been cleaning other tables and stuff.
Are there like pock marks in the table from the acid?
Make a perception check.
And these people just ask you your name and then they don't do anything about it.
You're very loud there,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah, I'm
Keep it
drunk.
down.
What do you think I'm supposed to do?
Is that what happens when you drink alcohol?
Yeah.
It
You
is.
do rather reek.
Would I,
I
Yeah.
must admit.
I have any idea who he is if he knows my uncle?
Roll a history check.
All I know is he's a massive walrus.
Okay.
Um,
Dad.
I,
So
I
7.
can still hear you.
He looks familiar.
Apologies. I
You had
messaged
a lot
her.
of tutors when you were young.
Mhm.
He might have been one or worked with one, you're not entirely sure. You've been to Sahab a handful of times.
Where are you in my head?
So, and you've been to the
Again.
university in Sahab.
That's not an answer to
Oh,
why.
okay.
So, you probably bumped into him at some point.
Sir, pardon me, but you look awful familiar. Have we met before?
I don't know. Have we? Where would we have met before?
I seem to.
I'm gonna walk over to the table so I don't have to scream.
Your accent
change.
Yes.
I seem
Was
to
that on
recall
purpose?
potentially seeing
Yes.
you
Okay.
in Zahav, maybe affiliated with the university.
Well, yes, you would have seen me there. My name's Ruffner Abernathy, Dr. Ruffner Abernathy.
And at that, you recognize him as one of your many, many tutors when you were young.
I believe you tutored me when I was a small child.
Did I really? What was your name?
My name is Titus Julianus.
Titus Julianus. Do I remember Titus Julianus?
Roll a history check with disadvantage.
That's a natural one.
No, you do not.
Well, Titus, it's wonderful to see you again.
So,
What brings you to Aceivrish? It's a
Um,
long way from Dar.
family business. My uncle.
Really?
On the council.
How's he doing?
We haven't spoken in a day or two, but when I last saw him, he seemed to be doing quite well.
Do I remember his uncle's first name?
No.
Okay.
No, you do not.
Does he remember my uncle?
Yes.
Yes.
You already established it.
Actually, what is your uncle's first name?
You have me write it down. Oh, you remember.
Caesar?
Commodus. Yeah.
Commodus.
Commodus. You do remember Commodus.
Because I know who he is. So.
What's the
So, all Commodus is doing all right then.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Chainmail
he
did
seems to be
last
doing
time.
quite well for himself. Yes, sir.
Sounds good. You don't have to serve me. I'm not your tutor anymore.
I apologize.
He has
It's very...
very, very nice manners.
I mean, it's gonna get you pretty far.
kid.
So,
Thank
anyway,
you, sir.
I'm sorry, why do you want to come along?
Terribly
and-
drunk.
well, I hear you're looking for Tim Finnegan.
Does he have anything
Are
interesting
you?
on him?
Huh?
Does he
Yeah.
have anything interesting on him?
Oh, well, excellent. Perhaps
He has
we can
this-
work together.
Why are you
probably.
looking
Like half of
Why are we looking for
very
Tim
small, way
Finnegan?
too small to
Sorry, I
wear.
say we.
But like
This
a
is
small half of a
Ave.
porcelain mask hanging off of his belt.
Sorry. Always forget. I just call you Robyn.
Glove it.
So, yeah, we're looking for Tim Finnegan as well.
Oh, well,
Is
well,
he
that
back
is-
to-
Might I ask why?
He
Debt
he
collectors.
has his
Debt
back
collecting.
to the
Debt.
bar.
Debt.
There's a
Okay.
big difference
I'm
there.
one of
Yeah,
the that
clearly.
So I'm going to a bar and like trying to like.
Collecting debt from him or paying him?
With advantage.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Settle accounts, let's say. When a man's been off the grid for 30 years, you know, tends to rack up some money.
Quite.
I'm
So-
sure it does.
Could have been pointing to Maurice, but you should.
Oh, right, that's Maurice. He's a buddy of mine. Recently liberated from prison, you might say, and
I see.
been working on
He's-
getting him to
he's
get back on his feet.
Just like this on the table. And you actually, at this point, you do notice he does have a blindfold on as well. And he's just.
He's in a bit of a bad way. Didn't
Oh.
exactly treat him well in prison.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. The
This
prisons
is
around
not-
here barbaric.
They did not treat me well.
Is he speaking English or common?
Yeah, he's speaking common. No, it's actually not. He's
No, he's
speaking
not.
infernal.
Is he really?
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, well then I can.
So
Yeah,
we
you
can
do.
still-
That's one of the languages I don't know.
Yeah,
Is it-
no, it's fine.
Oh wow. So
Oh,
he
so
speaks
we
infernal
can-
and only
we
the two of you understand.
He was speaking Elvish.
He was speaking Elvish.
You're right, but he
earlier.
switched to infernal.
Okay.
That's unfortunate.
Yep.
They didn't.
I'll circle back to the table after I like successful.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear you're getting back on your feet, sir.
That is one way to look at it, sure. They are pretty high.
So,
I'm sure that my actual hands will fall off.
this is quite a long way to find yourself from the university.
Yeah, I came here to communicate with the Verminsky family. Apparently they have a botanist here who is quite good with the magic of Avery. I've been studying and I've been meeting to get in contact with him, but along the way I ran into some old friends, agreed to do a bit of charity work for him, and that's how I came to be collecting Tim Finnegan's debts.
I see.
Oh,
Back
well.
to charity. Would I have any idea who the Verminsky family is?
Roll a history check
Would
with
I?
advantage. Roll history check straight.
Did I roll 2? Does that mean I
You
roll
roll 2 and you take a higher number.
That's what you have to do.
16
plus
plus 4 is 20.
History.
Wow, that's,
17.
definitely yes. And you've heard a little bit. You know of the Verminskys as wealthy people in the north of the city, near the outer city quadrant. You know a little bit more. The Verminskys are an extremely wealthy, powerful, aristocratic family of, and they're halflings, right?
No, the Verminskys are gnomes.
They're gnomes, that's right. Gnome family. And you know a couple things. You've met them through fancy dinners and stuff like that. You know that they have connections in Zahav. They have connections. Their banner is in Aceivrish itself. But you also know that no one has. They've been underground. According to people you've met, people you know and have trusted your whole life, they've been. Both of the Verminskys have come, like brothers, have come extremely ill as of late and have been keeping. keeping, 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 You also know that they're a bit detestable. They tend to be involved in more illegal crimes or more illegal dealings than you would like.
Mm-hmm.
So,
The Verminskys, interesting. I've heard that they're not doing so well recently.
Who?
The Verminskys.
The two, the bigwigs.
Yes, the ones that you're
What were their
doing
first
charity
names?
work for.
Man, I'm gonna have to go way back for that.
you would know their first names whenever he gets them. If you want them, you don't need them right now.
Okay.
I don't even remember
Yeah.
why I saved that.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You know their first names. You can just make up something Italian sounding.
Okay.
Mario and Luigi.
There we go, Mario and Luigi.
Alright.
Yeah, I heard that they're not doing quite well. That they're not really keeping very high profile anymore. In fact, I'm kind of surprised that you were able to talk with them.
I haven't talked with them, and I'm not going to talk to them. I mean, I don't plan to. I know that they weren't exactly out and about. It's good to know, I suppose, if I ever run into this botanist fellow. It's the botanist I want to talk to. I frankly don't really care about them.
I see. No, they're quite ill, which is tragic, but I suppose it's the curse of greed upon their house.
What's a botanist?
I'm pretty sure that has a
Oh, he likes
natural
plants.
explanation as well.
He
as
does a good
curse
thing
of
with the
greed.
plants.
Botanist
This is Martin,
studies plants.
who's still staggering drunk and not looking in your direction at all.
I'm gonna help him, and
like-
I'm gonna just get up and I'm gonna help him. Like, do you mind if I escort you to like your home or something like that?
I'll just sleep here. I sleep here every other night. And Demay, who's like on the other side of town, is like, he does. He sleeps here quite a bit. You should just leave him on the table. He'll find his way. Would you like rooms for
I
the
literally
night?
drop him.
Would the seven of you like rooms?
How many to a room?
As many as you'd
What do y'all
like.
think?
I mean, I've only got 2 beds in some of my rooms, but I can, you can have your own room, or you can pair up, or...
Perhaps
Assuming
we
we don't
should-
already have one.
Perhaps we should
You-
speak with her first and purchase rooms later.
Why not?
At this point, Emmett,
together.
who's sitting at the front, kind of thinks Demay, tosses coins, and makes his way out of the tavern, and
Not in
the
that way.
music comes to a close
Sorry,
as the
what?
What?
musician
You wanna share a
nods to Demay and makes her way upstairs.
How are the steel dudes doing?
They left.
Dudes, like,
Laughing
they
steel.
left a
They
while?
left a little bit ago, yeah. Sorry, I
We're
tried to
taking the
catch your,
dragon head.
I tried to
with
catch your attention. Yes, they took their dragon head.
Miss, you wanted to speak with us after closing?
I did, but you've met Martin. Martin was Tim's best friend back in the day.
I see.
If he's gonna take you, then I'm sure I'm not much use to you anymore.
Right, well, thank you for your assistance.
Of course, it's my pleasure.
Martin,
Aye, what can I do for you?
was Tim much of a drinker?
Aye, the old lad was a heavy drinker, but he could put his drink down better than anyone you've seen.
I'm
I'm
not sure what that means.
quite sure of that. Did he have a favorite draft?
Just straight whiskey.
Straight whiskey.
Straight whiskey.
Do
He
you
was
have
a
any-
man through and through.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Did he have any bottle that he preferred?
Aye, he did. His own. Custom made.
He made his own whiskey.
He did.
Did you ever try it?
He did.
How was it?
Tasted like his piss.
It probably was.
I'm not entirely convinced it wasn't.
Well, that's quite interesting.
Sir, if I
He
might
was an
speak,
interesting fellow.
if I might speak frankly with you, I've heard conflicting things about Mr. Finnegan. What exactly was his occupation?
Aye, Tim Finnegan was a botanist. Worked with flowers and plants and the like. He knew how to make concoctions, potions, and the
one
like.
person in the garden that we
Various
talked to.
other things. He even one time dabbled in poisons for the military, but it felt bad on his conscience, so he stopped.
I see. So, the discussion of him as being some kind of revolutionary, or guerrilla fighter, or terrorist of some sort, is just conjecture.
I have not seen Timmy in 25 years, but if he is a guerrilla fighter and a terrorist, it's for good reason.
What
He was
do
a
you
good
look
man.
like?
He looked a bit short, red head and water brain. Kind of like those leprechauns you've probably heard of. They wander the place. He might even be one, I won't lie, I wouldn't know.
He's a good liar, that Timmy boy. But if you see him, say hi to him for me.
Certainly.
You didn't have any debts to him or from him, did you?
Did I? He was my best friend. We
Just
just
curious.
gave each other things. You don't go in debt to your best friend.
That's fair enough. I just didn't know the levels of the relationship is all.
If you're a piss poor human, you go in debt to your best friend.
That's fair enough.
You were speaking.
Not as the character. I was gonna say something to Robyn, but we're good.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you later. Remind me.
Yes. A flag bartender and be like, can I have a Sprite?
You could have just flagged the DM and asked for a Sprite.
No. Sir, this might be a forward question, but if the two of you are best friends, why haven't you seen each other in 25 years?
If I knew that,
Tell me is that like
I'd tell you.
someplace probably
Of missing?
to the person.
Most likely of his own accord, but I wouldn't know. Like I said, I don't know where he could be. He disappeared 25 years ago.
I'm terribly sorry.
Any warning that you had? That's not the right accent.
That's not
Any-
the right accent at all.
Any? Dang it! Now I've lost the plot. Did he give you any idea of where he was going?
No, he just,
No warning
one day he
whatsoever.
came in here, we drank shot for shot for 4 hours. He could always hold his ale much better than I could. And after that, I woke up and he was gone.
Never seen him again.
I haven't seen him since.
That's
The maid
well, the
told me
awful way
he
to end a
left.
friendship, in my opinion.
Terribly sorry. Perhaps we can help you reunite.
We will find out.
Just to
soon enough.
clarify, Martin, you said that the only people sitting with you, you only described two. There was a third.
I only was sitting with two of my good friends coming in from the harbor. They had a good day fishing, a good night fishing before, but they decided to have a couple of drinks before they go back out. They're on their way back out to the water now.
I was under the impression that there was someone else sitting here.
It was a wrong impression. Just the two. And myself.
If you say so. Thank you.
Do I look like a man who wouldn't know if someone else was sitting right in front of him and he's like looking over here?
No, sir, you seem quite lucid.
This man gets it.
Yes.
He's not pointing at you at all.
Points at me and I'm like,
Now, if you'll excuse me.
He's out.
I'll tell you. It confuses me how he's supposed to get us in contact with a man he hasn't seen in 25 years.
Well, he did say he knows someone who might.
Why not go after him himself?
It's a great question.
I guess, I suppose
He's
we'll
not
find out.
exactly in the state to ask.
Oh, you
that's
could also
quite
ask
correct.
us.
That's quite correct. I suppose we'll find out.
So what time tomorrow morning then? What
Whenever
is-
you wake, whenever you
Okay.
wake up, I will. Bart,
The maid.
the maid. Thank you.
Hey, what can I do for you?
One room for us two.
Hey, one bed or two?
Two.
Two.
Miss, might have a wake-up call at 6 a.m.
Oh, perfect, I can do that for you.
Alright, military
It's
man,
like-
here we go.
It's like 12:30, 1 a.m. at this point.
She's like, I can do that for you, I only get 3 hours of sleep a night anyway.
Wow, productive.
I am. I'm even productive in my sleep. I've been known to sleepwalk. So what I do is I come down here and I clean while I sleep.
Wow.
That is quite productive.
That's
Quite
education right there. No, I've
Best
known.
bar in the city. Or
I'd
outside
imagine
the
so.
city. yes.
At least the cleanest one.
It's close. Close second to cleanest, actually.
Does it smell nicer than the last one we were
Absolutely.
It
The
does.
last one had rats running around in the tavern.
So we'll take 2 rooms. One with 2 beds, one with one.
Of course I can do that for you.
How much will that run me?
Per room, 1 silver.
One so split.
And she hands 3 keys to that side of the table. Actually,
Fine.
3 silver.
One bedroom.
You're starting with 3?
Yeah, one for the room and 2 for the
bedroom.
shots.
I take it.
Oh no, sorry. 1 silver
One
per
bedroom,
room.
2 beds?
Certainly.
Right,
One
she's
bed.
Oh yeah, she's paying for dinner. Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry.
No.
I can take it.
Oh, it's no.
Just take a shot.
Please, it's no.
No,
trouble.
I'm good. I'm
Please,
good.
it's no trouble.
No,
Money's
no,
no
no,
wants to
no.
have more money than you actually
I know.
have, by the way. Add another.
We'll have that conversation later. It's no trouble. Money's no object. I'd like to purchase rooms for the 3 of us.
1 room or 3?
3, please.
Of course.
She
She's
hands you
buying
3
all
keys.
rooms, too.
And And you have your free silver?
I was about to say, yeah, he's fine already.
How genuine was that coin purse, though?
Yeah.
Extraordinarily. It's a heavy purse.
You know.
I sniff really
Use
cool
it,
with the
yeah.
like flash.
Yeah,
That was an
like
excellent
dollar
idea.
city in the east of that. Absolutely loaded.
Perhaps I'll try that tomorrow.
Where do you have your cauldron?
I think
There's like a one.
Add a couple zeros at the end while you're at it.
Yeah.
Oh, degree.
Add common
I mean,
for
I've
zeros.
never-
That's
the only
about what
reason
you
I'm
would
still
probably
here.
just carry on your person
Check a
casually.
K on the end.
That's how much you
Or trying
carry
to
like
feel for something.
just while you're just traveling out of
Right,
the
in
house.
case I gotta take
Yes,
a
I
purchase.
roll a
Yeah,
d10.
you didn't grab your actual
Yeah.
spell, you have the
Yeah,
but
I
you have
follow.
credit.
Yeah. I have
As you're
nothing
reaching
to
over,
do.
I'm just gonna be
You've
like,
got,
yes,
if
you
you
roll
only
hard
put
to
these rolls, that would be what
keep
you have to
things
call
in
it.
the
Yeah.
places, as I say.
Yes, that is too true.
I would advise making better first impressions than, you know, trying to take someone's purse if we're going to be working together.
Yeah. No, and he
that
does.
is true. Ah, dang it! I also need to. Did we see like a sign for a warrior as we were coming up?
Did you see what?
A sign for a warrior, like an arrow person, like a carpenter or something like that.
You probably passed by
Fletcher.
Fletcher on your way in.
Okay.
But it's
Fletcher.
definitely closed at 1 morning.
Okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
That seemed. Alright, I'm getting to it. Remind me, did your name?
Dr. Aventhy.
I'm
Just
blind.
looking at you.
No,
No, I'm sorry.
You're really getting into character.
I am.
You're just staring at everyone.
That's
That's
fine.
actually what I was
Okay. I will try to remember that. I probably
Okay.
won't.
You
Alright,
did the-
good night.
But without the hand. It's impressive.
Wait, before we go, one thing I couldn't help but notice is that eye of yours is a little bit purple. Is that just natural, or did that something do that
I'm
to you?
going to adjourn to bed.
Okay, are you doing anything
That's
before you go to
actually
bed?
genetics. My dad was a
Yes, absolutely. I helped her out to bed.
before I was born.
And
So
then I'll just
that's
take
my
a bolt,
life
lock
story.
the windows,
Wow,
lock the
That's
doors.
nice.
I'm gonna
clean
make
myself
note
up,
of which
and then
room
go to
is
bed.
his.
Huh?
I'm gonna make note of which room is his.
Okay, this is the third room on the first floor. Yours is on the second floor.
Okay.
I'm definitely locking my door.
Okay.
And also barring the window in the same fashion that we did
Okay.
last time.
Noted. Anyone else doing pre-bed?
Yes. A-B-I-N-C-H-Y.
Same thing as last time.
Perfect.
Pretty
We're,
much
we're all
the exact
secure
same
here.
words.
We're all secure on this end.
Daniel?
I'm in my room. Yeah.
Okay.
I also put
I'm
a,
doing the same thing, yelling at the top,
Oh.
just to
screaming
be safe, I'm gonna also
another language.
barricade the door with a chair.
Mildly.
Yeah, that makes
Oh,
sense.
it's fine.
Any-
He just tried to pickpocket me.
I did.
Really?
Yeah.
I failed.
And he rolled a nat one.
Miserably.
And the two of you, any pre-bed?
I'm pushing my bed as far apart as possible.
Yes.
In the room.
I personally don't.
And I'm gonna pretend to sleep easily.
Okay.
I have a I put slip a dagger under my pillow, and I'm gonna be like sleeping the entire time.
Okay.
I am fiddling around to try to attend.
I'm having a
Dude, roll a
Roll what?
roll an intelligence check.
Straight intelligence?
Yeah, straight intelligence.
Ah, shoot, girl. Alright.
Just keep trolling.
Yeah,
So it
and
won't go bad.
Brett, you're sitting in your room, Titus, you're sitting in your room and you're polishing your armor and you hear thump! And you hear, I'm okay. You just walk clean into the wall. But eventually you do manage to find the door and lock it, and that's about the best you can really do. You can't find the window.
No,
You're not entirely sure there is a window.
No, I wouldn't. No. I'm just gonna go sit on my bed and do what I did last
Okay.
time.
Alright, and now, as the evening sleep takes you all, you get the effects of a long rest, but Rose, for the first time in 7 nights, you dream again. We're going to take a short break, just so people can run to the bathroom if they want to. We're going to do a dream sequence with Elise while you guys are gone.
Excellent. I appreciate that.
So everyone will vacate the area. We'll do a short dream sequence, and then I'm gonna run to the restroom myself.
Sure,
Yes.
We just know where to go. You
I
can
honestly
just
felt
go
that.
in the
No,
music
it's
room.
pretty nice. Pretty fun, actually.
There's
I
another
was hoping
bathroom
it'd be higher.
upstairs if you need it.
Wait, where did I put my? Where did my shite go?
Sweet dreams.
Oh, it's under there. Never mind.
About
I'll just
that.
try water.
Shall I scoot closer and just take
Yeah, you can close it. So, you fall asleep and you feel almost like you're laying in bed, and then there's a moment where you begin to and you feel like you fall back, and you feel like you fall through a thin layer of water. You open your eyes and you can see. You're in a tunnel. The walls of the tunnel appear almost to be made out of like withering black vines that are just kind of moving gently, slithering along the walls. And you are standing.
Again, that doesn't help.
Guys, hush.
It doesn't help that like some nights you sleep like 12 hours.
Brett!
What?
Hush!
Sorry.
So, you are standing in the middle of this tunnel. It's freezing cold almost. And you're just standing there. What are you doing?
What am I standing in anything?
Yeah, your feet are ankle deep in the vines that are withering around you, kind of.
Oh, okay. Is there any light coming from anywhere?
No light coming from anywhere, but the room just appears to have a blue haze.
I want to reach down and touch the vine.
Sure.
And see what.
You touch the vine, and in a moment it freezes over and cracks. And then when you release your hand from it, it comes back to life. You hear a voice echoing through. You hear a voice echoing through the tunnel. So cold.
Do I recognize it?
You do? It's the same voice you heard the other day saying, so cold. The same thing.
Okay.
So deep. And at
Hello?
that, you hear water. And around the corner of the tunnel, you see a large body of water tumbling towards you. What are you doing?
Running.
Okay, you start running in the other direction. The water is moving much faster than you. And for a moment, you feel like you're gaining a bit of lead, and then it hits you in the back. But immediately, you feel nothing. You're floating in ice cold water. Adrift under the tunnel. Actually, sorry, correction. Once the water hits you, you're no longer in the tunnel. You are now deep in the ocean. And above you, you see large structures moving across the ocean. Almost like glaciers. So deep.
Hello?
So alone.
Where are you? Hello?
You feel yourself begin to get yanked deeper into the water.
Okay.
You are able to breathe.
Okay.
And you are able to speak normally. You're just floating. But as you sink deeper and deeper into the water, you see the light twinkle out until it's pitch black. And then a small light appears in front of you. Borrow. And you feel your eyes lose vision. And you recognize that you have gone blind. Borrow.
Who are you?
I am alone. I am cold. I am ice. But I can see because of you.
You're the one who blinded me.
You see a flash of lightning across the sky, and you realize you are now standing in a field. It is raining, and lightning is shooting across the sky, and you recognize this as the place where you were blinded.
Why do you need... You can't see.
I can now.
Where are you? Why do you need... Why do you need to see? How...
I have plans. I will return. And with that, and are gonna take our break.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm gonna write some things first.
But you're not a monk anymore.
Like
Unless you
side of
are.
my tongue.
Surprise! This tiny ass little girl just punches everything.
Hey,
Not yet. She talks to everything first.
we're not gonna judge people around here by their ass size.
And on that note,
Speak for yourself.
good morning, everybody.
Speak for yourself. That was funny.
Says the words.
Welcome to a bright and early, wonderful and beautiful day for most of you.
It is for me.
I'm looking at the blind girl.
Yes.
You got up at 6 a.m.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you got up earlier than everyone
Did
else.
you get a long rest?
You wake up. Yeah, he gets a long rest technically. You
We
wake
didn't
up.
do much.
I'm an
early.
efficient person.
What are you doing? You're up earlier than everyone else. What are you doing?
Well, I get up and, as usual, a creature of habit, I get up. I clean myself off, brush my teeth. Make sure my armor's all nice, real, and shiny, and make sure my weapons are nice and sharp and
Is
shiny.
there like a
and
sink, like
get
a
my
place to brush his teeth?
I got
Not
stuff
really,
with
but-
me.
He brings
Okay,
stuff with him.
alright.
He's
He is
rich.
He is a kid.
I'm rich, so
I just wouldn't know what
and
it's like.
I step out of my room, ready for the day.
All right. So
Does that
With
make
the
you the entire
length
session?
of with the length of your getting ready period, you step out of the room at the exact same time as Ruffner. Stumbling out of the room.
So him.
Bloody hell.
No, him.
Him. You've been having trouble keeping track of the name.
Bingo.
Good morning.
One
I'm shaving my beard with the dagger.
Solid.
All right.
Sorry.
And as you guys make your way down to the tavern, everyone begins to meander their way down into the main body of the tavern, where Demay is cooking breakfast.
My beard looks like it was shaved. It was like trimmed with a dagger.
Good morning, ma'am.
Hey, good morning to you. Would you like some porridge?
Oh, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
It comes free with the room.
Wow.
She drops a bowl of oatmeal-looking porridge.
Looks delicious.
Blandest,
It smells wonderful.
blandest porridge goal.
Aye, that's just porridge.
Thank you.
It smells wonderful.
Aye.
Even in your hangover super.
I can also get food and just.
Anyone?
The
Not
bowl is
eating?
not too hot now, so if anybody wants it, just pass it.
Hey, that's what I said about my porridge. Alright. So you're all down in the tavern. Actually, everything's the exact same as you left it last night. It's cleaner, but Martin is still passed out asleep on one of the tables. So you're actually curled up in a ball on the table.
Does he have a blanket on him?
He does not.
Is he gonna be all right?
He'll be fine. He does that all the time. You just go and kick him and wake up.
You got the water barrel.
Oh, you do. Would you like to dump that on him instead?
No, I'd like to dump my face in it.
Oh, absolutely. At the end of your hall, there's a little wash pot, and it's
It's not the chamber pot, right?
no. That's
I've,
next to it.
I've made that mistake.
Now, in the middle of the night, some people may assume, but for the most part, it should be clean.
Yeah, rainwater barrel.
I'm messing with you. I filled it up this morning.
Alright, I appreciate that. I'm gonna go dunk my head in that.
All right. Anyone else doing any morning routine?
I'm just making sure that I'm all right.
Whoa!
Actually, I'm gonna go and are there any I'm gonna kind of after breakfast go out and see if there's anything open in the morning.
I have a raven on my shoulder.
That's fine enough.
Thanks for announcing.
He did not have a ribbon on his shoulder the night before.
I'm gonna clean my ears.
Is it making sound?
Sure. It's like an oddly specific thing to do, but okay.
Where
I'm
did
gonna
you-
sit
the
across
raven?
the tavern
Raven.
and stare as she goes
Where's
up.
the raven on his shoulder now?
Sure.
Where did you get the raven?
Also, before I left the room, I said a little prayer type dealio in my
Yep,
language to my person.
Yep. She's the cleric, guys.
I'm sitting as far away from you as possible.
This is a really fun game of who's playing the cleric.
Oh!
Who's the
Are
real
we in a
player?
triangle then?
Yeah, the
I'm
three of you are
okay.
sitting in a triangle in the empty tavern.
I'm gonna look at the raven and.
Um,
I'm gonna sit,
Barn.
I'll sit by her.
you step outside and the city is alive.
Are there any like flesh or air places, shops open?
Roll a perception check.
I would assume.
Without leaving the porch of the wooden shoe.
5.
Nowhere in sight. of the wooden ship.
Well, you would.
Yeah. Oh,
Dang it. I walk in.
I thought I'd drop.
Hmm. Yo,
Oh,
Tice,
going in this pocket.
you got an extra
Yes.
bowstring with you?
I'm sorry.
Bowstring?
Bowstring?
Yeah, for a crossbow.
I'm sorry. I don't carry one.
Actually, you might.
I might.
On your horse.
Oh, on my horse. Just let me go check.
Thanks.
Would I? I don't know. I'm asking you.
Oh, it's a crossbow string?
Yeah.
Never mind.
That's why you.
I was
That's
gonna
what he
say,
said.
Wait, hold
no.
We actually probably wouldn't know what he was going outside to do.
No, you would not. But he did say on his horse.
It's like, oh, you said I might have one on my horse.
Yeah, he did.
So then you got
would-
out there and you were like, there's a difference between a bowstring and a crossbow string. And you came back inside.
That's right.
I'm
right.
sorry.
Right.
Well, you said your character had a crossbow, right?
Sorry, why do you have a bill?
Quick question. Do you have a spare crossbow string? Mine
It's
was
just-
silk last
Why
night.
do you have a pet?
I don't actually know if I do or not.
By the way, I'm terribly
Where has
sorry.
it been this entire
On
time?
your own, you probably wouldn't carry an extra one.
Okay. No.
I'll find one.
Wine?
Something. Good one.
What was-
Five.
It's a raven.
Mr. What was it?
It's not. It's not.
Thornbody?
Speed hunk.
Speed.
You said it was Brimstone last night.
Is this why it's on fuzzy?
Is he telling the truth on that one?
No, investigation check.
That is. That's an 18 plus like something.
12.
Investigation.
You win.
Oh,
You win.
That's a 20.
he looked the exact same as he did the other night when he told you the other name.
Or Mr. Speed. I'm just gonna call you that. I'm terribly sorry to ask this, but I need to make sure that I don't accidentally call you something offensive. What race exactly are you?
He's a goblin guy. He's bigger. He's the biggest one of them all.
Say what?
Big dude.
Yeah, I noticed.
Once or 3 times in my life. Very memorable.
I'd like to hear it from you, this, if you don't mind.
I believe last night he said
Oh, haven't met many of you folk, but quite lovely people from what I hear.
Do you think
Insight check.
A bugbear killed his dog. Kidding.
Let's see, what is this?
6.
That's a 13 for me.
Seems to be a man of his word.
He is quite a lovely person. You just have to get to know him.
Sure. Most people that I've found.
They do a lot. They just tend to take a lot of naps as well. But as long as you don't disturb them, they do pretty well in between.
What did you
That's a little.
What did you say your name was?
Mine? Dr. Abington.
What's exactly a doctor of?
Mad biology.
Magio what?
It's magical biology.
Oh.
What were you studying again? I'm sorry, I forget. I've tutored a lot of students and I seem to have misplaced you.
He was your biology tutor.
You were my biology tutor.
Oh, so you weren't a biology student then, you just came to me for
No, sir. No, I was not. I'm
What did you study?
mostly most of the social sciences and language.
Politics?
Yes, well.
So you would have known Dr. Vitruvian then?
Yes.
Wait,
Which one was he?
I've made him up.
Yes, sure.
yes, yes.
He,
Yes,
he
I
taught politics,
I remember
political
him.
sciences at
Yeah,
the
really
University
immersion.
of the Raven. Phoenix.
yes, I remember him from my
University
time
of
at
the
the
Raven. It's a very
university.
different college.
Man.
Yes, quite.
Wasn't ever really sure if he was a man, but figured it out eventually.
Stabby McStab faces. For
I would never-
I think the Ravens.
Was never have asked.
Trust me, it took me a long time to build up the courage.
Are we gonna make them up or?
He's still.
That's a good question.
Well, there's 2 ways we can do this. We can slam his head on the table and say,
Where are the other drugs going?
or
Did you just do that?
Perhaps,
at the table?
perhaps I will get up and try to wake him.
I didn't slam his head on the table.
Go ahead.
So I'll walk up to him and just politely nudge him and say, "Excuse me,
I'd
sir,
love
it's
to
time to
stick
wake up."
my tail under
Makeup.
his nose and see if I can make him sneeze.
Fair.
I want to see that. Did
Evil.
you hear that?
Evil.
DM, did you hear?
Yep. Nope. You just hear. He grabs your tail in like a full hand
I shove him off the table. He's oblivious.
Does he have any like coin purse on him?
Yes, yes, he does.
I want to see if like he'll wake up if I start messing with it.
Okay, or you just you're just taking it off?
Yeah.
Well, it's actually tied into his belt, so you have to remove his entire belt.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on.
Sure.
What? Hey, hang on.
Okay, you just take off his belt, and he's holding his belt, his coin purse, and he's just.
Hang on a minute.
It's alright.
What's
It's
happening?
not yours.
It doesn't.
Well, I know, but
happening?
sometimes people pay attention when you steal their stuff.
He's out.
Alright, hang on. I'm gonna start dragging him up the stairs to where the wash pot is.
His head. Thump, thump.
I'm gonna drag him head first. Like,
Okay.
like around the shoulders.
You drag him upstairs. He's
I forgot how
he's
heavy
a
people were.
halfling, but he's fat.
Well, so am I.
No, it's fair.
Would
The
you,
two
would
of
you
you
like,
are just a
would
shit
you like some
show.
help?
I'll pick up the beat.
Okay. We're gonna
Without
drag him.
saying a word.
Okay.
I'll
Alright.
just pick up the beat.
Martin, I'm real sorry about this.
Just starts swatting. He reaches for his knife in his belt, but it's not there. You
I'm-
have a knife on his
I
belt.
wanna give him like a Nelson.
really cute. Okay, he's like,
Hang
Hey,
on,
what are you
sorry,
doing?
you were bloody asleep, mate. You were plastered.
I'm
mean,
good. I'm
right.
good. I'm good. I'm good. Let me go.
Alright.
He turns and he just belts you in the mouth. Does a 15 hit your armor class?
Yes.
Okay, you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as he just. Oh, sorry, 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Wow.
He's kind of
Did we follow him?
I don't know, did you?
No.
No,
Nope.
Okay.
you
Definitely
No.
talking.
So
Back in
he's-
the chest of the stairs.
And you just kind of, you like stagger back. He's like, that's what you get for dunking me.
Well,
Well,
perhaps
this
you
is
should be a little better at waking up
I'll
then.
take that.
You should have just told Denise. She knows how to get me up.
Well, I didn't
We've
know
got
that.
the system.
Maybe you
Okay.
should have told
Do you
me.
need more
Hey,
than
I'm going downstairs. And he makes his way downstairs.
1, 2,
You got a bloody lip.
3.
Oh, I have more than a bloody
Yeah, no,
lip.
I need this
Five.
one. Mine.
Martin comes trotting downstairs, soaked wet.
Good morning.
Good morning. He makes his way to the bar and immediately starts downing ale. And shortly after him, Ruffner comes down with just a black eye and a bloody lip,
Broken glasses.
broken glasses.
Are you alright?
I walk up and I'm gonna
Been worse.
cast minor illusion. I'm gonna pretend like all of this stuff is fixed. It's alright, bud. It's fine. Everything looks fixed except for the
No, he looks
glasses.
fine.
Glad.
I guess I can't tell.
You can tell.
I can tell that there's a illusion on my face.
Make an intelligence check. Actually, you can't tell if you roll high enough.
It feels like a feather that you can't get off.
That's not high enough. That's a 2.
Not.
Well, you feel wrong, but you're not entirely sure what happened.
Well, you look much better than me now.
After downing an entire thing of ale and just gulping the porridge, Martin is like, alright, who all am I showing to my old lover's house?
All of us.
I believe all of us are going.
All 7 of you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, then I believe some introductions are in order. All of it? Sure.
I'm Dr. Ruffner Abernathy.
Doctor, it's a pleasure to meet you. Sorry about your face, but you deserved it.
I totally did.
What's wrong?
And honestly, it's probably an improvement.
Oh, I fixed up his. He had like a black eye and stuff.
What?
I can't fix the glasses.
It
though.
still hurts.
Anyone else? Names?
Oh, Barin.
Baron?
Quinn.
Quinn? Keep my eye on you. He's only got one eye at the moment. You notice as well, his other eye socket's just empty.
Oh, because you
If
stole
if you
it.
want to go ahead.
He did.
Straight
He did.
face.
Keep my eye on you.
If you want to, I suppose.
Rose, it's a pleasure.
Tinus Julianus, Signora Florentia.
We've got ourselves a rich boy in town. It's nice to meet you, Titus.
Pleasure.
Keep me in your prayers.
Absolutely, sir.
And the fluffy ones.
Considering how we have originally
Have I?
connections.
Pleasure to meet you, Arvine.
Very.
Dagger face.
That is
What is
3
your
for
actual
3.
We call him
name?
Fuzzy.
Pleasure to meet you,
I'm
Fuzzy.
trying to figure out if he's lying on this one.
I'm just
What'd you
not.
roll?
What am I rolling here?
And insight.
6.
Yeah.
7.
He looks the same as he's looked every time. You're rolling real bad for these.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, it's a pleasure to meet you, Fuzzy. Alright. Well, I'll lead the way. She don't live far from here. Taking you to me old lover's house.
the Lady Ratnails. She's a lovely woman,
With a lovely name.
and I haven't seen her in 27 years. On we go. And he just starts trotting his way out the door, reaches up to turn the handle, and makes his way out onto the street, and he doesn't look back.
I follow him.
Okay.
Glide, in a sense.
Anyone else following, or is everyone else?
Yeah, we're all following.
I'm gonna keep an eye out as we're following with my slightly now blurry vision.
Make a
I do
perception
it with
check.
my perfectly normal vision.
Make 2 perception checks.
That's a 16.
I'm gonna also
Plus-
join them.
0.
I'm gonna have a look around
11.
Okay.
because I'm starting to learn things.
Sure, make up the look around.
See, that's
I'm gonna keep an eye.
13.
Are you, okay, are you hopping on your...
Sure, why not? Let's hop on the horse.
By the way,
Okay.
Maurice is with us.
Yes.
Can I hold on to
Oh, yeah.
you or you?
I
I
kinda,
forgot, he
You
introduced
can
me.
ride back.
I
over
kinda
to me.
have
Okay.
my hand on his shoulder as we
I will
go.
ride on the
Okay.
horse with you.
No,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm gonna-
Maurice
I-
is coming.
I keep
I'm
forgetting.
gonna- I'm
Yeah.
checking to see if there are any.
Sorry.
fletcher
Not though.
shops. I'm trying.
I'm gonna
looking
hold
for
it
fletcher shops
because I
walking.
don't trust his horse.
I'm
Well,
gonna fall back beside Titus while we
You
walk.
all
Okay.
also notice that
Growth there.
Maurice is wearing the exact same thing he was wearing yesterday.
Well, so am I.
Oh, so are most of you.
Yeah.
Doctor.
Oh, yeah.
Can I see your glasses for a second?
Yeah.
I like cast mending over here when I can see, and I hand it back.
Okay.
That's a right trick.
You're welcome. And I just want to leave.
And at this
Are
point,
they the right
minor
prescription?
illusion.
I was gonna
yeah, they're
ask
the
the
right
same
prescription. But at this point, the minor illusion has worn off, and you have a bloody great black eye.
I had a bloody great back eye. I can feel
But now everyone can see it.
Did any of us see anybody following us?
Yeah, it's a
At the moment, all you see is that the streets have come alive. People are milling about. No one appears to be looking in your direction or trailing behind you or anything like that.
Can I see anything?
At the moment,
No.
you do not see anything.
I'm kidding.
You do not know.
Hey, keep up with me.
And he continues making his way
I'm
forward.
at the back.
Did I see
Wait,
any? Do I see any fletcher shops?
Roll a perception check.
18.
Eventually, yeah, you guys walk past him.
I
Just like message.
Gwen.
Stop
Keep
doing
an
that.
eye. Tell me where y'all are going.
I'll be back.
I full on sprint into the shop.
Alright, you guys are walking. Hey, this is important to you guys. You're walking, and then Bara just hooks a left and just breaks into a sprint.
What the?
And just poof, barrels straight into a fletching shop.
I don't know how to contact you.
I'll ride after him.
Okay, you're riding into a store?
Not into the store, but up to the store.
Alright, so Baron just breaks into a sprint towards the store, and immediately Titus is like, yeah! And chases after him on horseback.
Maurice and I are going to like just try and blend into the crowd a little bit.
Okay, pretty easy to do with how Maurice is dressed. So you guys just kind of mill into the crowd off to the side. And at this point, Martin turns around, he's like, what are you, I thought I had 8 of you.
Just leave them. They're fine. Let's go.
I'm leaving 4 people.
I don't know where they're going.
That's half of your group. 4 people have gone missing. Look at that. And you notice Titus is not there. Baron is not there. Ruffner is not there, and Maurice is not there. What are you doing?
Is that
I walk up to the counter and I just say 5 crossbow strings.
I'll ride up to the store and walk in and ask him why he took off.
Because I
Looking at
because
us.
I need it first crossbow
A
string.
lot of
This is
people,
the
yeah.
first
that's
thing
why
I saw.
we're gonna hang
You guys
out.
are currently making a bit of a scene. Yeah, the guy's like, okay, 1 second. Goes and gathers crossbow strings. That'll be 5 gold.
Thanks. Plop down 5. Put it somewhere. Just like put it in my pocket. Have a nice day.
I'm just gonna ride back over to these 2.
Okay. Have a good day. And they're all back, except for Ruffner and Morris. Or Maurice.
I'll have Maurice stay. As long as those people around here know that Maurice we see. I'll follow you over the distance.
We're ready to follow you again.
Aye, if you say so. Let's go. It's only 2 more blocks this way.
And
Yeah.
you follow him.
Maurice and I are going to follow at a distance
Okay.
until it looks like people aren't observing him.
After a block, it looks like people have kind of mellowed back into the flow of things.
You join the bubble.
So you guys approach a large, completely abandoned looking mansion pressed up against the wall. So you guys have made your way to the city walls. You're still on the outside of the city walls, but you're at the city walls. And it's almost like a large, ornate looking building with a bit of a steeple. Could have once been a religious building. A large glass window in the middle, and it's covered in overgrown foliage and plants. Just absolutely covered. And all of the plants are completely black and writhing a little bit.
This is where the lady lives. I'm not going any further, but she's got magic. She could help you.
She lives in here.
Aye, she does.
Actually, people live in worse.
If you go knock on the door, her servant will come and let you in.
Thank you for all your help, sir.
I'll be here if she needs me.
And he goes to the other side and he sits with his back to it.
I'll give him a silver and say, buy yourself something.
I can do that.
And he goes, actually, scratch that. He grabs the silver from you and he walks to the nearest tavern.
That's what.
I think that's a smart thing. I'm gonna shimmy the thing. I'm gonna look for like arcane like insignia or like arcane.
Make an Arcana check.
I think that's a second that. I'm like, chaps. That's a 10.
Lots of strange symbols. Whether or not you recognize them as arcane or religious, I'm not entirely sure.
Cut off a piece
Yeah,
of
while he's
plant.
doing that, I will look.
I'll walk right up to the door and knock.
Yeah.
Alright,
I turn and hide my face.
Just like, at the moment, you do not. So you go right up and you just on the big door, and there's a pause, and then after a while you hear
The best at it.
And that's the person making that noise, right?
The door creaks open, and standing inside is a large humanoid made completely out of vines that are kind of.
I very quickly pocket the piece of vine that I cut off.
And it's standing in the doorway, and it looks at you.
Hello. We're looking for the lady of the house. Of the manor, of the mansion. Can you help us?
It turns, and it starts to walk into the house.
I go in.
Now we wait.
Keeping weapons close.
Okay. Are you going in? Oh,
Um,
Barnes just walking past you into the house.
Oh, well then, I guess I follow. I was going to wait politely.
I stutter step a little bit until he's just ahead of me.
Okay.
You
are now in the lead.
I'll follow.
Okay.
Oh.
Door jam.
So after a while, everyone filters into the hallway, and it's a long hallway. The walls covered in plants and foliage and vines occasionally, and flowers budding and blooming, and they're all dark as night. And you follow this large creature made out of vines as it kind of shambles forward through the long hallway up to the back of the house where there's a large double doors. And the creature goes up, and a single vine comes out of its shoulder. You cannot. You hear a voice. Come in. And the door. Once again, it's the creature making the noise.
Hey, what did he say the lady's name was? I forgot. I'm sorry.
Lady Rat Nails.
Rat. Do I recognize that name?
You do not. Stepping into the room, the six of you see one of the most beautiful women you've ever seen. She has long, flowing, golden locks of hair. She's wearing a long, ornate white dress, and she sits on top of this beautifully ornate chair. There's a large chandelier hanging in the room. This room is extraordinarily fancy, extraordinarily prim and proper, and she sits. Yes.
She's rich, so would I know who she is?
You do not recognize me. Rose, you see one of the most hideous creatures you've ever seen in your entire life. A bulbous, disgusting creature, skin dark as night, fingernails long and grotesque, one large tusk sticking up from one side of her mouth and the other sticking down from the other side of her mouth, and her eyes squinting and beating as she looks at you.
I clutch my staff with both hands.
What can I do for you today?
Are you the lady of nails?
I am indeed.
It's a pleasure to meet you. We were recommended here to look for Mr. Finnegan. We were told that you could be of some assistance by your friend.
And which friend is that?
What's his name?
Martin.
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 Mr. Martin.
You've met Martin.
Yes, ma'am.
And how is he doing these days?
He's doing quite well. I would assume.
Does she
if,
seem
if
genuinely concerned?
Make an insight check.
That's a no crap. I forgot about my insight thing.
I had a 10.
I think that's a 13 for me.
She leaned forward, she opened her eyes a little wider, she put her hands together in front of her, she smiled a little bit.
He must be doing quite well for himself, considering I haven't seen him do anything but drink.
That's my old Monty. He lived at the tavern, essentially, bless his heart. Well, you're looking for his old friend, Tim Finnegan, is that correct?
Yes, my lady.
Well, finding someone like that is a difficult task. People who've gone underground. It's not the easiest thing to do in the world, but I have connections. My sisters and I, we can work together to piece together where he is, roughly. But in order to do that, I need a favor. I would need something in return. I would need your help.
Would you like payment?
I'd be more than happy to wash your windows.
Payment. Money is no object to me.
I
need
see.
something more specific.
Like Windex.
What specifically would you?
My windows are fine, thank you. North of the city, there is a town called Ichabod. There is a castle, the Castle Ichabod, sitting above the town. In the castle, there is a thief and a criminal. He stole from me
What did he steal?
my most beloved magical artifacts. A bag called my Bag of Souls, and my Heartstone.
Do I believe her?
I was gonna say, do I
Roll an
believe her
insight
when she said that she was stolen from?
Roll an insight check.
I wanna also.
Would I know what a bag of souls and a heartstone is?
Roll it in.
15.
15 insight checks first. Insight checks. Just
Oh.
highest insight check.
22.
Was it 22?
Yes,
Heart of
I have
stones and what else?
checks.
What?
Given how you
What was the
see
two items?
A
What
heartstone
she
and a bag of
is?
souls.
you believe that something was taken from her, but you feel like she's leaving things out of the story. You feel the same way. She's genuine about the stuff being stolen, but she's not telling the full story. What'd you roll?
Crap, I forgot. Arcana?
Yeah.
18.
Bag of Souls and a Heartstone are magical items used by dark
Is that
creatures to
two-way street?
perform
It can be.
evil magic, and that's all you know.
Okay. Not exactly something that.
No clerics should be using weapons.
Would you be willing to
I'm
help
a great
me
domain
retrieve?
Sorry, would you care to elaborate more?
I'm sorry?
Your story, it doesn't.
I believe what my friend is trying to say is it would seem quite difficult to steal from such a renowned magical being as yourself.
I was not stolen from by a normal man. Many years ago, the Castle Ichabod was home to a very powerful vampire. misdeeds on my part, I will admit. He grew angry, stole into my house, and walked away with two of my most prized possessions.
I'm terribly, terribly sorry.
If you could retrieve those for me, I would be willing to help. And I would pay as well, on top of the information. And I would provide a magical gift.
Perhaps
One.
you give us some.
Not specifying what kind of magical gift we're talking here.
No.
Which I'm going to Arcana check if she specifies.
I have multiple ones for you to choose from.
Such as.
A chime of opening, a bag of tricks, a bag of holding.
Perhaps
Okay, I'm
you
not
would
actually going to
consider.
Arcana check this.
Perhaps you would consider giving us some time to discuss.
Of course, of course. I have an alternative. If you'd like to hear that.
Certainly.
It's a sacrifice. Is it?
Let
Is-
her speak.
Yes. Sorry.
Please give me a moment.
My sisters and I are very powerful beings.
And what kind of beings are they?
We are night hags. And as she says this, her golden locks shrink into shriveled black, slimy hair. Not to you, but to everyone else. Her skin begins to boil and bubble and transform into a skin black as night. Her eyes, piercing yellow, strike out, one large fang sticking up, one large fang or tusk sticking down. Long, grotesque fingernails. Her dress turns into ratty, darkened rags, and she I am the Lady Ratnails. In my true form. If you do not wish to go and retrieve this for me, a small sacrifice would suffice.
Define sacrifice.
One of your eyes.
Does it have to be like one of our eyes specifically, or does it just have to be any kind of eye?
Specifically one of yours. Not yours.
So you wouldn't be interested in, say, like a dragon eye, that kind of thing?
That would not interest me at all.
Wow, that is quite
If
remarkable.
if I might ask.
When it comes to eyes, when you say eyes, you mean like
She
an eye I am in possession of?
lifts her long, grotesque, chipped fingernails. One that I can remove from your eye myself.
And if I might ask, why on earth would you want to do that?
No.
My sisters and I can perform a very powerful magical incantation using an eye straight from a living being. But the being must still be alive, and the eye must be fresh. Should we acquire that, it would equal in value my soul bag and hot stone.
Please, allow us to take some time to discuss your offer.
Of course.
What do I remember about night hags?
Take a step out of the room.
Do I know anything?
Roll a history check.
Do you want to know? Considering I just saw them. Do I?
10.
Roll a history check. No.
17.
You've heard the name, you know of hags. Magical beings, hideous women who hate beauty and are to some extent evil, but as for the details, you're not entirely certain.
So I
Nat
wouldn't
20,
have come
which is a
across
22.
Yeah, you know a good bit about night hags apparently. They, you know that night hags create nightmares. They travel into a being and they create nightmares and they feed off of the being while it undergoes nightmares until eventually it dies. You know that a night hag cannot feed without a heartstone, which means without a heartstone, given enough time, it will not die necessarily, but it will become weakened, and a hag will do anything to retrieve its heartstone. Its soul bag it can only use if it kills a very evil being. If a night hag kills an evil being, it traps its soul within a soul bag. And then it can feed off of that soul, and it does not have to feed off of anyone else for a very long time. So you guys are currently gathered out in front of her chambers.
What occurs to me, I'm concerned that
Also, the
for
children's
someone
tales.
so powerful,
Well, I know I have to be the children's tales come true.
she can't go get it herself. I'm
She
I'm
can't get
concerned.
it because she needs that. The things that
What do I know about vampire?
Roll in history check.
That's a 14 or 16.
Very powerful magical beings. Suck your blood.
Not in a nice way.
What do I?
Roll a history check. They can't.
What?
They can't. Very powerful magical beings. You've heard the stories. They can't necessarily enter into your house on their own, but they usually have minions which do it for them. Entering into a vampire's house uninvited is a very dangerous task indeed. Especially if it's a castle.
she might not be powerful enough to get them because she needs them.
Well, I'm very concerned then. I'm very concerned then that we may be walking into a trap.
Did you say eat?
Yes. Night hags are interesting creatures, and the heartstone is what is required, and they kind of possess people and give them nightmares until they die. And they feed off their soul, essentially. And the soul bag is used for particularly evil spirits. So when they kill an evil being, they feed off of that.
Well,
And
clearly,
without that, they become weaker.
clearly we can't go retrieve this.
My tail is now very fluffy.
Well, I frankly don't reckon that working with either with or against this lady is a particularly good idea.
Why don't we just say that we talk to her and then go find an alternative solution to finding her?
Well, I would prefer not to do business with this.
I agree. I'm not going to partake in evil activities that are going on around here.
Though she does provide us with a very good source of information as to the goings-on of the city.
But at what cost?
That is true. Though it is just an eye. Why does she want an eye?
Let's just say no good reasons.
We're talking like
Sure,
from like
it's not
necromancers
very
of
Definitely.
the old tales, like the ones that purge the world in flame and fire, like evil.
Like really bad.
Also,
Okay.
just to be clear, she said true form. Was she not like that?
Before
was
she was a
freaking-
beautiful woman.
Yeah, she was. She was prettier than my mother.
What?
Adopted mother.
Okay.
She was basically an angel.
The most
She
beautiful woman
was
I've
not.
ever seen.
I'll tell you that. She was not. Well, what are you going to do?
I suppose our final decision is we simply have to find another way to.
You didn't tighten the one arm, at least. Just fresh.
She
Are you suggesting we steal somebody's eye?
Well, we could pay him for it.
If somebody wishes to volunteer their eye, but we're not going to steal somebody's
Hold
eye.
on. Does your guy have any eyes left?
That man's eye!
As you say that, Maurice slinks back into the ball a little bit more.
Sorry.
That was sorry. That was rude.
He's
Not per se.
or taking or generally mutilating.
Well, I mean, we could just grab someone random off the street, bring him here, and then just take this guy's eye.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I would not.
No.
I would
Try
never.
to throw
I
throw
would
solutions
never.
here. If
Well,
you're not
I
gonna
don't
do
think
anything
he
like what
knows
she's
where.
saying, then why don't we just like go
Also,
find some
I
people?
She
don't
can't be
think
given this kind of
I
power.
don't think she would take to that because what kind of a sacrifice is it if it's from a random stranger?
At any rate, she can't be given this sort of power.
Frankly, I'd rather not work with this woman in any sort of way, shape, or form.
I agree 100%.
Alright, all in favour of just walking out the door right now.
Yeah. If everyone else is, why not?
But if we walk out the door, we'll never find your family.
I mean, I do know somebody
I'm
else who might
sure.
know something about like Tim Finnegan.
You do.
You know somebody.
Well,
Why
why
are
did you just
just
now
now
well,
saying
It's all right. Let her
things
speak.
now?
Let her
Because
speak.
he's kind of
It's been a while.
he sells drugs, so
It's been a
Well,
while
I think
though.
that that's a little bit better than the alternative.
We could just go to his house.
I think that this is somebody that we can.
Try our options first.
Do you remember how to contact him?
we theoretically, if we're just like, Federal, where art thou? He might show up.
You just yell that.
You just.
Is he gonna come here now?
That is a
I don't
good
know.
question. He might not. He was a very kind of middle-aged person. And he could do magic.
He like created his own like drug rocks, and they were some really cool.
If they weren't so expensive, I might
It was
want
like,
them.
Drug trade is detestable, but it's definitely preferable to an old witch. So
he seemed a little shifty. He seemed like he knew some stuff. We're kind of in the cellar, and I didn't want to push him, but like with 7 of us, 8 of us, we could totally like shake him down. For himself.
shaking him down may not be necessary. Let's just get past this
Are you
irrational.
sure? Kind of go like, "Whoa." Makes
My
sense.
personal vote is that we
Okay.
try her drug
I'll
dealing
just
friend.
follow John.
He is a very good man. He just may not have made some
He gave me a
correct
really nice
decisions.
shiny rock.
That is true.
But he did.
He sold you
stuff,
drugs?
right?
No, I couldn't afford the drugs. So.
I mean, until we have another lead, we could just like walk into his house.
Until we have another lead.
13 silver.
I think that we should
And a dagger.
politely
And a belt.
politely
And a dagger.
bid this woman farewell, and then we'll go see if we can find.
If
I
we
think-
go
I-
back and talk
you-
to her, we will not.
No, we should just leave. No,
Yeah.
we're just.
I think.
Yeah.
Are we in the courtyard?
So you are currently standing just outside
She
the door of
probably
our
can hear us. We
chambers.
should really
I start making my way out the courtyard.
Okay. There's no courtyard. It's a hallway.
the hallway.
She,
Oh, what
she's
happens
going
when
to
I
have the
touch
same
one of the
opinion of
clothes?
us whether we
What
walk
happens
out
when I
now
touch
or
one
we
of
tell
the
him.
clothes?
All right, perhaps then,
I
It's black.
Don't
Let's
take
take
it to
it.
walk out.
barring any offense, let's go ahead and.
I pick a box.
Here we go.
You guys start striding towards the door, and as you make your way towards the door, it
Yup.
slams shut.
Yes.
All right.
And echoing through the tunnels, you hear.
I'll draw my sword.
You thought that I could not hear within my own home? You are damn fool.
No, we were trying to figure out your true intentions, and now you've shown them rather well, haven't you?
I was going to reward you heavily for your service.
Heavily is not usually the word you use there, but whatever.
You would receive multiple magic items and as many scryings as you could wish.
There's no reason for violence. You can just let us go in peace.
I'm afraid I can't do that
And why is that?
because you know too much.
Right, see, I told you.
So you can either work for me or you are against me.
I'm currently I'm trying to pick the lock. Can
It's
we like
the
pick top?
vines grow over the door, like it's blocked.
Yeah.
As she's
Open
speaking,
sesame.
the
Give me
walls are turning into figures, similar to the one who introduced you into the room, as the vines
I can't see them.
come to life. You can cast a
By the way, I lit my lamp, so
Okay.
if there's no other light source, that
Okay.
is a light source.
That is the number one light source in the area, yes.
I called it.
What are you guys
I draw my sword.
Alright. Alright.
Oh,
And I
wait.
tell her, and I command her to let us go peacefully once again.
I need everyone to roll initiative.
Yeah.
Okay, that's medium.
Ooh.
Daniel,
Ooh.
yeah, would you set up a hallway, please?
What?
What is that?
Question.
What is that?
Oh boy.
You're not.
So -1, so I get 12.
How long?
It's okay, we might survive.
10 feet.
Wow.
You know, hard maybe.
Oh, this way.
15 feet. Okay.
Assuming this is exit.
And then, Barn, you're by the door.
I am kneeling, like trying to stab away the vines.
And that's, yeah, that's not
This
right.
is me.
I
You were
want to
currently
get out.
enclosed
Yeah, no, that's
Hey,
so
I was
valid.
gonna say Maurice is like right by me.
Okay, we
Right. I assume the three of us are
for
together.
now, we can just,
You do seem to do that.
Yeah.
We've got this could be Maurice.
he is unarmed at the moment.
Oh, we didn't like that.
If you're blind, you can stay behind.
Tyler, for your sake, Maurice has an AC of 12, and he has 10 hit points. Sorry. Alright,
Great.
Wow.
Daniel,
We're all just.
these are growing out of the walls.
You don't even know.
You don't.
Ah! What is wrong with you? Here, I'm in there somewhere.
Alright,
Stay behind me,
Any
for
of them, like,
Christ's
close to us?
sake.
yeah, one's next to you guys, yeah, at least there. Yeah, there you go.
Listen,
Alright,
listen.
Ah!
Daniel.
11.
11?
We're gonna go down this one. It's gonna be
Alright, Titus.
12.
funny. Wait.
Rose?
Wait for it. 13!
Wait, you rolled 11, 12, 13?
Quinn?
6. Oh, great.
Barn?
11.
Oh.
The Ruffner?
10. Should we just say Maurice goes with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So 10, 11, 12, 13.
And lastly, but least,
14.
That's not very nice.
lastly but not least, sorry, that's what I meant to say.
Sure.
We have 10 through 14 straight. Wait a second.
Alright, and they go first.
Oh, shocker.
Because I rolled a 17 plus like 2. So, to kick things off, the one that's behind y'all is going to immediately, you watch as vines kind of eke out of it and wrap around Barin.
Yeah!
What they're going for.
Come on, just let me out of here. Come on, get out.
Please. Oh, 23 to hit.
Ow! That hurts!
You take,
Oh, babe.
Thank you.
No, I don't. Never mind. Don't answer that. I know the answer.
wow, that's a lot. I
Oh,
rolled
no.
really high for you.
Oh,
You
no.
take 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
I fall freaking unconscious!
I rolled really freaking high. Don't worry, guys, I'm a
Don't,
cleric.
don't!
Are you actually though?
I am actually on
At
find
this
out
point,
right now.
I don't know. I don't even know his class.
That's 1%. Statistically, this is a hard but fair fight.
Case you're wondering,
Next
I
up,
have
the
a
closest
little
one there is going to grab at Titus. Ooh,
Do I
not
have to
good.
roll anything?
Nope, your armor class just has to be higher than 11. And it is.
It's 16.
Yep. You currently do not have your shield out? You have your sword?
Yep.
Okay. So it does not hit you. That one's going to go for you. Stab face. 21. Yep. That is
Flashback
5
to
points.
session 0.
PTSD.
5 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled.
Okay.
As the vine creature just kind of engulfs you. Currently, your body is held aloof by the vine creature engulfing you, and you're just like, wow.
That's on.
And the other two are going to just, they move 10 feet, so their speed is 10 feet, so they move closer. They're just kind of like shambling forward. Next up, Rose.
Some epic stuff. I'm gonna turn towards what I just heard being like my friends being attacked, so I
Yep.
just wanted to hear that. Are they kind of in a line?
Who?
With the divine. Well, I don't know. I won't know
Can't
anything.
tell.
Never mind. Yeah, no. Where is she?
You cannot see her. The door is closed.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So
She's
she's
not
not
here.
in the hallway.
Nope.
Oh, look at that.
No, I'm not gonna put you guys up against an Tag on level 1.
Help.
Oh, what about us against the Kraken?
Yeah, well, that was a war. But if you decided to go in and turn
I
it down,
might.
yeah, you probably would have died.
I can say
Oh.
I had it on for the day.
What are you doing?
I am just going to ready my quarter staff for if I feel anything.
We could do that.
Noted.
Ready in
Titus.
action.
I'll take a swing at him with my sword.
All right, there's one right in front of you. You take a big old boy swing.
Because logically,
16
Uh,
plus. Oh yeah.
Plus 6, I think.
Plus 6.
Yeah, so 22.
Wait, did I roll the right one?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, okay.
22.
So-
That nails him.
When
Go
in
ahead
doubt,
and-
roll that.
Huh?
Go ahead and roll 2d6.
Oh, okay.
2 of those.
Yeah.
2 of those.
you have to.
Yep, and roll it, and then add 6.
So 12.
Not proficiency.
Huh? Not
Just 4.
4. Add 4. Sorry.
So 10.
Okay. To which one is that? What's the number on that?
That is number 1. Orange.
All right. So you take one big swing, and you just hack deep into the vines, and it kind of and it hangs limp for a second, and then the vines reconstrict as it pulls itself back up. That's your turn.
Okay.
Stab boy.
Yeah. I'll draw my rapier. And I'll stab that one.
The same one?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the hit.
12.
12 just hits. That's his armor class. So go ahead and roll damage for that.
7.
7? Alright, so you take one big stab into it, you see the vines kind of and they pull away, pull back together. This creature's now kind of hanging really limp and swaggering a little bit, but it's just standing. Robyn!
Oh wait, I get sneak attack damage.
You're
next
Oh,
week.
sneak attack damage?
This is me.
6.
Oh, that you killed it.
This is bomb.
Alright, we got one.
You just you whip your rapier through it, it slices in half, the vines slump to the ground.
I'm gonna pull out my sword and take a hack at that one.
Okay.
3.
3. 14.
14, yep, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm slow.
Which one of you is grappled?
Him.
You're grappled. That should have been an attack with disadvantage.
No,
No?
not grapple. That's restrained.
That's body.
Oh, you're totally right.
7.
Sorry, that's my fault. 7 does not hit, sorry.
No. I already rolled. I'm hitting damage.
Oh, shoot. I'm paying attention. 7 damage. 3. Cool. So yeah, you whip your sword down and whoosh, cut through it, and it kind of hangs limp and like it's kind of hot, almost like guts, but it bends back together. Are you in your armor?
Yes.
Next up is Baron. Roll a death save.
17.
That is 1 success. Ruffner
Alright.
and Maurice.
Maurice and I, can we do this? Can we switch places?
Yeah, easy. You just grab him by the collar and switch places with him.
Is that movement or action?
Movement.
Okay. Maurice is gonna take the dodge action,
Okay.
and I will whack this dude with my fuzzy staff.
All right. So you are you proficient with the quarterstaff?
I am proficient with the core.
Wonderful. Go
I
ahead.
know.
He's a cleric. He is also
Roll the hit.
Yeah, exactly. That's a natural 20.
Nice. Go ahead and roll
Yes.
damage.
Alright. What is that? I'm doing this two-handed, so it's a D8.
Yep. Double the dice roll. Add your modifier.
That's an 8, so that'll be 16
Yeah.
plus 0.
Yep. So you just and the vines and
So it's-
Baron's body slumps to the ground as the vine creature is now dead. Quinn.
That's a great start.
Alright, there's one right in front of me, yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome. I've got 2 daggers. I'm gonna go stab.
If you do that,
Stab.
what?
Put that
Because I
weapon
can-
back.
You can.
Change my mind.
You're holding light. When you're with light weapons, you can use a bonus action to hit offhand, right?
It's
If
all
you're
about
dual
your-
wielding.
Yeah, if you're dual wielding, light
Gotcha.
weapons. Yes.
Yes. That's one.
You have dual wielding in your class, right? Dual
No.
wielding light
It
weapons.
happens,
I'm pretty
it
sure-
happens
I'm pretty
regardless.
sure-
Okay,
You have to
yeah.
have
I'm pretty sure
proficiency.
there's an auto thing. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Alright, that's what I'm. That's what I'm doing.
What's she doing?
Oh.
Oh yeah, as long as one's light, as long as they're both light, you can do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one of them is a 17 and one's a 6.
The
so
17 hits.
solid.
Which one are you attacking?
The closest one to me, the one's right in front of me. The red one?
That's where.
That's
That's
Maurice.
Maurice.
Just kidding.
You just start stabbing.
No! Do
I'm
not stabbing Maurice.
Yeah.
I will. step out then so I can see one, and I'll
Who are you?
I'm the shortest thing.
This one.
That one.
You're gonna step which way?
Just forward.
This
Just a
way?
little bit. Not quite so far.
There's no other one other than
That's fine. I'll take
I'm
my
sorry.
sling and hurl it at the one in the middle of the hallway right there.
This one?
That one.
Pink one.
Pink one.
Go ahead, yeah. Yes, 18.
That hits.
Missed reduced.
Just knows it.
5 damage.
Alrighty. So you just hurl a little rock and it just goes into it, and like the vine's kind of. Alright, that is your turn? It's their turn. So the one in front of you, Cord, is gonna go again. That's a natural 19 plus 4.
Yep.
Stay alive!
7 points of bludgeoning damage to McStaverson. Are you unconscious? Alright, Stab Boy's gone.
I can.
You just
Bloody-
collapsed.
I was doing
I
my sword
bloody
like
cloud.
this.
Just to make sure, I assume I can hear that, right?
Yeah, you hear blood and bacon go just slump down.
And bacon?
I don't know.
That's my name now.
I'm just saying random. I'm literally just saying whatever comes to mind. That's you. And then the rest move forward. 10 feet. Shuffle. Never shuffling. They have reach. It's gonna grab Quinn.
Did I give him 3 spaces?
Who
Did
cares?
you
It's grabbing
please?
Quinn. Quinn!
Uh-huh.
Natural 20 hit your armor class?
Well, I don't think so, but you know, I'll give it to
I'll
you.
check the rules.
Let me see. No.
What's your health?
8.
That's not a good.
15 points.
Oh.
So if
Of bludgeoning damage.
if you go below, if in one hit you go below negative, what your max HP is. So if you were to go below -8, she instantly dies.
In this case, if she had taken 16 damage, she's insta dead.
So she's not dead.
No,
she's
just
no.
unconscious.
We have 3 people bleeding out.
Yeah,
Yes.
people are unconscious and bleeding out.
Go team!
Can't really use that cleric.
Hope we have a cleric.
I'm working on it.
You can just lay on hands and combat.
Oh, okay.
Just letting you know.
Okay. Does that do any good for them?
Yes,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
will save their lives.
Oh, okay.
So, that is their turn, and it is Rose's turn.
Yup, I heard something scary, and I'm just gonna plant my staff firmly on the ground, hold my hand out and cast Burning Hands.
And
Dex saves. In the direction that I heard my friend fall.
Does that go over me?
He's falling.
No.
If he fell,
I'm prone.
I'm going. My arms are like
You would
straight
have
out.
disadvantage to hit him if he's prone.
Well, it's not an attack roll.
It's not an
no,
attack.
he would auto fail a dex save if he's unconscious.
It's
That's awesome.
straight. My arm is like straight out from me, and he's
How
prone.
close was he to you?
Like right
Like
next.
right next to me.
We can roll which way I fell. Did I fall backwards or forward?
It was really only an instant check, and it was cocked between a natural 1 and a 13, re-rolling.
You're cocking it up, bro.
I'll allow it.
Hopeful music.
Dex
Kind of
saves?
battle turns for better
Yeah.
or for worse.
It's a
Okay.
cone of 15. It's
How
15
far is
foot
that?
cone.
I can hit both of them.
You know, I
Alright.
get what you were saying.
They,
yeah, or-
the one on my right succeeded, the one on my left failed.
Okay.
Pink
Erm,
two,
erm, 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 erm,
Thank you.
erm,
I can't see that.
Pink one.
Yeah, the music is getting hopeful.
Is
Or
it?
sad.
That's because
Or sad.
Ruffner's about to go.
Is it?
Oh, I almost said Brian.
Yes.
Oh
Is
my
it?
Brian's
Is this like the
Okay.
the tide's
That
gonna
is
turn, or this is
12.
the last stand
12.
active?
12
And
to the one
it's
who
fire
failed.
damage.
Fire
12
damage?
fire damage to the one who failed and 6 to the one who succeeded.
12 fire damage to 2.
Also,
6 to 1.
Side note to all of you, it does not look like normal fire. It looks more like ice and is really blue.
Oh.
It's like blue flames.
Yeah,
It doesn't specify that they're vulnerable to fire damage, but that doesn't make any sense. So I'm gonna make them vulnerable to fire damage. How much was it?
12
Okay.
and 6 to the one who succeeded.
Cool. Then the one who succeeded survives. So Pink 2 survives, but only just. The other
Oh.
one's gone. That's like 24. Alright, so you just release this wall of blue flame, just goes out. And to one of the creatures just burns up into ash, and the other one sags a little bit. And it's Titus's turn.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So if I try to heal one of them, can I also take a hit at one of the
No,
No,
you
it
can
would be your action.
One
heal
Okay.
or hit.
Okay. I'm gonna try healing.
Okay. Who are you
How
healing?
much?
You
One
can
to
heal
five.
up to 5 hit points.
Okay. Let's do 3.
Okay, you get 3 and you have 2. You have 2 you can use
Yeah.
left. So you
The
can
air
heal
smells
someone else.
like
You
Goes
go
to my back pocket.
Well, my hairs are singed.
They only need, just so you know, they only need 1 hit point to be conscious again.
Okay.
Oh,
Know that.
but to
now.
take a hit anymore. Cool. So that is your turn. Are you moving at all?
I'm sorry.
I was seeing your reason.
Until I
He's right in
take
front of
my.
me, so.
Fair
Until
enough.
it's my turn. Right?
Stabby.
I stand up.
Stabby bitch. You are no longer grappled, which is nice.
Yep.
died.
I'm gonna just stab him.
Stab him.
I
Roll
want
an
to back
attack.
up, but everyone's in my way.
Roll an attack. Not great.
So,
Mine does not hit.
aha.
So you go and you stab, and the vines kind of, and your blade goes right through, and then. All right, bleeding cow. Your turn's done. Avai. You see the 3 remaining on the other side of the battlefield, or the hallway, whatever you want to call it.
Is it
Lit in here? At the moment, Baron has lit a lantern.
Yeah.
Which is currently
Good
on
to
the
know.
floor.
Which
next
is
to
currently
the
sitting on the
30 feet of
floor.
bright light and then another 30 feet of dim light. So
Which is like
That's a good lantern.
the hallway.
Stay here.
it's an
Pretty
average
much.
lantern.
I'm gonna move.
Also,
Can I move?
You can pass through ally space. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you can pass through an ally space.
also Daniel.
I'm gonna move to be easier conscious. Somewhere here.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna take a shot with my crossbow at
Oh, crossbows.
that one.
She wants to be
Okay.
She's right here. Oh no, you can occupy the same space.
Roll an attack.
She's small.
I'm not like
She's
small,
she's
small.
medium.
I'm even. Sorry.
Oh, that's
Well,
fine.
that
it's
just hits. Go ahead and roll
I
damage.
mean, she could hit from back here.
Which
she's
one?
She's
Which
not
one?
gonna
Just
do ranged
this
attack.
one. Unmarked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're going.
Well, but you wouldn't want to be in melee range.
That's true.
No, you're fine.
I'll just say here.
Yeah, it's
7.
Okay. 7 points of piercing damage as your bolt just and sends vines scattered against the wall, and the creature. That is your turn. It is Baron's turn. You're unconscious. Make another dex save.
10.
Yeah.
10 is a success. That's 2 successes. Ruffner and Maurice.
All right, we're gonna switch places again.
He's like, okay. He's like, absolutely.
He's going to take the hide action
Okay.
behind me.
He's going to make a stealth check.
Can I?
Noted.
Can I shoot past people if they're technically like? Can I shoot around Titus?
You can, but if you roll low enough, you'll hit them.
Sure. All right. I'm gonna reach into my coat and pull out this baller-looking pistol, level it at this dude, take a shot.
All right.
That's an 18 to hit.
Yeah, that definitely hits. So you're standing there facing the enemy, and you see like something poke over your head, and you turn right, and you see what you recognize as a wheel-lock pistol, and then you go deaf as there's a loud boom in the room. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right, that's
The entire hallway just kind of shakes with the sound of this
Ow.
gunshot.
hang on.
You are hurt. You take 1 point of
Thunder damage.
thunder damage
Yeah.
for being so
That's
freaking
a 3.
close. That's 3 damage?
Yep.
Your bullet just passes kind of through the like lower
Wow.
body of it, and like it sends vines going, but not as many. And just
Your sense kind of.
All that built up.
This is what I roll.
I know.
No.
All right.
The whole leaf goes.
Quinn.
I'm a real good shot.
Thank you.
If I lost a shot.
What are you doing? Oh, you rolled death saves. That's
Yeah.
right. You're dead.
We're
It's
lying.
their
No.
turn. So the one
You are
right
not
in the
dead.
middle of everyone looks at you, and you watch as it kind of rears up, and its vines go into the ground, and vines shoot out of the ground all around everyone, for 15 feet around the vine blight. Strength saving. Well, everyone in 15 feet of it make a strength saving throw.
Except for me.
Everyone but you,
What
Maurice.
do I have to roll for that?
Roll a
A
d20
D20.
and
I
add
will live.
You're good.
You're
good.
You're
That's
welcome.
a 7.
Okay.
You're not good.
That's a 6.
You're not good.
16.
You're not good. You're good. Okay, so everyone who failed, everyone except for Titus and Avine, you are restrained. That's it.
Start time.
And then the other two
Who failed?
10 feet closer.
Me.
And no one is within range, so they're just gonna move closer.
Alright, I guess we just know who failed. Okay, you.
You, Ruffner, and Rose.
I auto-failed, so.
And yeah, fine.
Those who are unconscious auto-failed.
Except for
Oh,
me,
did
because
you
I'm
roll
too
for
far.
Maurice? Or is he out?
He's out of it.
He's out of it. Okay. And that is their turn. Rose.
Could you send me Maurice's stat block?
I will.
Thank you.
If you want to look up on your app, commoner. That's what I'm going to use as a stat block.
I'm gonna attempt.
That's his new stat block. Just commoner.
That's not nearly as good.
Nope, I made it worse. You're welcome. Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm gonna attempt to
Do it.
cast chill touch.
It's alright. You'll keep them alive.
Vines.
Okay.
Wait, wait,
Roll an
you can
attack
roll.
with disadvantage.
So it could be higher or lower.
Yep.
No, we're just
Do I
saying.
have double disadvantage because I'm restrained or something? I
No,
decided
no, no,
that's not a thing.
no.
Right?
Yeah.
Restrained or rebel?
Oh,
Restrained.
girl.
Bad.
Nice.
Oh.
You probably wouldn't have just the
Ooh,
default.
all of those are great. 23 was the lowest.
Yeah, you hit. Which one are you aiming at? The closest one?
Yeah.
Was that big 2? Roll
Yeah.
damage.
Yes. Me too.
What is damage again? 2. Or do I add it? I don't think so.
2 damage?
Yep.
Muted. Alright, so I don't know. Chill touch it like creates a skeletal hand
It
that
does.
like, boop, and it kind of like withers a bit.
Necrotic.
Goes back. Alright, Titus.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit the closest one with my sword.
Alright, so you move up first.
Ah!
And 3.
Roll to hit it with your sword.
So that's 18.
Definitely hits. Go and roll damage. 2d6 plus 4.
Only 2 unconscious right now.
Once again, 10.
Alright, you wallop that thing's head clean off. You just,
Does it have a head?
well, it has a head-like
He
shape.
was doing, and then
That's
he
a noodle.
suffered in the very first
It looks like.
I said nothing to say.
That
Bleeding
noodle.
out right now.
So they have heads.
Are we still? Are the vines still around us?
Yes, there's still vines in the wall. Or no, sorry, it's dead, so no one's restrained. Yeah, no, as you walk its head off, everyone's no longer restrained. That's you, the no longer bleeding out Chewbacca.
Chewbacca.
Oh my god.
something cool.
Going to
Fuzzy,
not
fuzzy.
go forward.
Fuzzy
I'm
Wuzzy
gonna-
was a bear.
Yeah,
He
He
was
has no
he-
hair.
Was dead on the floor.
I saw they had 3
Wow.
10 feet, right?
But because he was dead,
Fuzzy Wuzzy was no more.
No, it doesn't help you right now.
I'll get my short bow out then, and I'm gonna stay there. I'm actually gonna hold my action for when an ally gets within fight.
Of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait for that opening.
Wait for that special damage.
Just like that.
It's hard to hold a bow. It's okay.
Alright.
I know, I hear you. Yelling at me does not help. I'm going to shoot again at the.
did you rearrange our
That's me.
cards to like actually make
Listen.
order?
I'm going to shoot again.
I
with
did
my-
not.
No, he didn't. You just put them up there.
I just put them up there.
To.
It could be arranged in the in order, but it's too late now.
Oh,
Go
for
ahead.
initiative.
Roll
They're
it.
in order of seats.
Yeah, they're in orders. Well,
Oh, well, no.
That's
Oh,
an
okay.
18.
They work. I feel like they've done.
Now they are.
Okay.
18 definitely hits. Now they're in order of seats.
This is the unmarked one.
That sucks.
That's a 4.
Oof. That's the unmarked one?
Correct.
Oof, oof, oof. Alright. Bard. Death saving throw.
Staying alive.
You can do it.
Staying alive.
That's fine.
Yay! I come back to the world of the living.
No, you're still unconscious. You're just not bleeding out.
You're just
It
not
wasn't
gonna die.
technically cocked, it was sitting on the paper. I saw. You are just unconscious. You are no longer in risk of dying. You do not
Keep
come back
me safe.
awake unless you get a natural 20 on a death saving throw.
You're slightly less dying. So.
Yep.
Goes from like.
Ruffner and Maurice.
Alright, Marie is going to still, he'll take the hide action again, I guess.
Cool.
And,
What's his stealth bonus?
0.
Oh, he rolled an 18.
Hey, let's go,
Yeah,
Maurice.
alright.
And I'm going to reach into my coat and pull out a rather large rock. And I'm just gonna take a look at the one in the back, kind of do like some math
Calculation.
in my head. And then gonna look at the rock, and I'm gonna go, and it's just gonna sail. And then when it gets to here, I'm gonna snap my fingers in. As you watch, my arm just goes, and the rock just suddenly accelerates downward and smashes into this dude.
Go ahead and roll.
He needs to do a dex
Oh,
save.
that's right, he does a dex save. 10.
10 will not succeed. So you watch as this rock just absolutely slams into this dude. Where's my other D8? Where'd it go?
It's talking about.
I totally lost the D8.
Here,
Oh, there it is. Yeah, 91 more.
Jesus, I forgot how much.
That's gonna be 15 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, your little boulder, your little rock just goes whack and just scatters vines across the room.
The back.
The back.
Oh, the back one. Oh, wait, whoa. How much damage?
15.
That does not kill the back one. Sorry. It's not dead,
I think,
but it's hurting.
wasn't it here?
No,
No,
it was.
no,
It just goes whack and it passes clean through it, and the vines go. And that's it. It's alive still. That's your turn. Quinn.
I'm just
Make a death save.
They're all
13.
Not all of you.
Well, I know he's the only one who's gonna charge forward.
Everyone's raged except for you.
Yeah.
Is that a success?
That's fine.
Yep. Wunderbar. It's their turn. The one that is in reach of Titus is gonna go whack with vines.
At me?
Yep.
So I have to roll.
Nope. 12 does not hit you. You're good.
Nope.
The other one moves forward and takes a whack at Titus as well. Nope. Rolled the same thing. So they both start lashing at you with vines, and they're just like kind of sliming across your armor. And you're just like, gross. That's their turn that way. Rose, you're up. There's a definite like skill gap in how characters are created for combat right now.
Again, I'm gonna just kind of like ready.
Down immediately, and
We
then
can
Titus
tell
is unhurt.
Who had some training and who hadn't.
Hey, Ruffner is unhurt as well.
That is true. That is true.
And so is Maurice.
You three have done quite a bit.
Is that a skill gap or you picking and choosing who you want to kill?
Because I've
No,
attacked
he's taken several shots at
3
me.
or 4 times. Go ahead.
Readying,
He just critted against
and acting with my staff, and then I also would.
Rose has done a lot as well. It's really just you two.
Thank you. You knocked me on the first round.
And
I don't
then
have
I'd
really
like
do
to
with
call
it.
out, where are they? It was my bad.
Does anyone answer her?
I'll answer her, but I don't really know how.
Um,
Just tell her what, there's
I'll
one,
kinda-
two directly in front of me?
can I like? I guess I wouldn't have. Can I use a reaction here?
You can answer to her. You can answer her.
But I want to like move her. Like.
No, not on no.
I'll
Because
tell-
all turns technically happen simultaneously.
I'll tell her there's 2 directly in front of me.
Okay, and I hear him.
Yeah.
And
You're-
can I move towards him?
Yeah, sure.
Wait. There you
Yeah, you're not necessarily sharing space, but you like put a hand on his shoulder
Yep.
and you're like, that's the armored boy. Yeah. What are you doing?
that's all I'm doing for now.
Are you just moving to him?
Yes,
Okay.
you're with ready
Ready
my
in
staff.
action.
Oh, that's right. Okay. And that is your turn. And it is Titus' turn.
Alright, well, how about this time? I'll use my action to help her, and I'll give her a hit point, and she can get back right back up.
Okay, I'm just shooting. Screw it. Once I realize no one's moving forward.
Your turn would be next, but yeah, go ahead. You have 1 hit point and are alive, Quinn.
So
So what? She gets to stand back up.
Yep, well, not yet. She's
No,
still on the ground.
that's
You
okay.
miss, and I go.
And it just goes and skips into the vine from the ceiling and disappears.
And it is your turn. Stab me.
Dagger
bloody
face.
Dagger.
Let my
dagger
arm rest until there's like 1 second left on my turn.
Roll an attack.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, buddy.
Poor buddy.
All right, Alvine.
I'm done.
You just turn and start stalking toward the door.
I'm gonna
Focus my efforts elsewhere.
forward and
That's true. She's melee.
I'm
two
gonna hit with the sword.
Glad that helped.
All right. Hey, look. You would have sneak attack.
Shut up. Which one? Because I would have hit. Which one?
That's a good point.
That one?
Yeah.
Unmarked.
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 Thank you.
Well, 10.
Does not hit.
Yep.
All right. Baron.
Okay,
You're
I'm back in
unconscious.
the fight.
Nope, you're unconscious. Robyn.
I'm still. No,
I'm
no,
gonna-
I succeeded.
That doesn't
Yeah,
mean you're
You're
just
stable.
you wake up in 1d4 hours.
I rolled. I rolled. It was one. It was one. You wake. Yeah, it's literally that's how that works. You're out for the fight unless someone heals you.
Oh well.
Hefner's gonna step to there. Maurice is gonna take the dodge action, and I'm gonna level my pistol at this dude right here. Well, it's not loaded, so I'm gonna pull out ball, stick it in, real fast, jam it, pull out the feel like, put a little gunpowder in it, point it, and shoot. Natural 20.
Not
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Roll damage. Double the die.
So you've
See,
got
where is that?
And then
I need so many D8s.
subtract your bonus.
Where did my D8s go?
You're talking about.
That one that I can't. I just cannot.
It's just
see.
1d8. Then you double the roll.
I double the roll, so that's a 2.
So
What?
so
What? You rolled a 2.
I rolled a 2. I double it and subtract 2.
Oh my god.
My
It's
hand
still
shakes
alive.
significantly when I fire.
It is still alive, but only just.
I keep nailing that guy, and he just
Yeah, you rolled a natural 20, and
Yeah, he's missing
did
a lot of
2
leads.
damage.
All right, Quinn.
Alright, so I'm gonna
Just like-
stand up
Like sniper.
and
But it's just going like.
we're not happy.
You don't look
so,
happy.
self-defense mode, we burst into flame.
Yeah.
Oh, she
What?
did that?
Excuse me.
And I'm not
sorry.
around to see it.
And
Again.
No, that's
and yeah, and we're gonna
Can I?
firebolt
You don't see
straight
that,
at
but
the
you
one right
feel
in front
hot.
of me.
Yep.
Do I actually
Am I
have
in
to warm
danger here?
It warms you.
I heard that as
No.
fireball, and I'm hoping I didn't.
Firebolt.
Dang it.
I cast fireball.
Level
one.
Love us.
Let's go.
We're all dead.
So like this is the end of this campaign.
I'm pretty sure that's just
We tried.
me just rolling.
There's only 2 left. You've already killed like 4 or 5.
3.
It's fine.
4. You killed 4.
Really?
There were
Oh yeah, there's that one in the back. And then there were 4 coming towards us.
Yep, yep. I have the notes.
A 19 to hit.
No, no.
Yeah, that
That
hits,
one,
and it's fire
yay.
damage, so just double whatever
Do
it
you
does.
need a spell pulled up? I have it. Okay. So double whatever it
Yep.
does?
Which one?
The one right in front of me, so I can't see it very well because I'm blind.
Yeah, that's number
12.
12?
Yeah.
Dead. Dead and gone. You just and like fire just goes out of your like body, and this thing just goes and disappears into a puff of ash. And now the room is lit by the burning Quinn, and that's her turn. It's their turn. Well, there's only one left, and it's gonna grab you because they're
It's
mine
gonna
on
try. It can certainly try.
It rolled a 19. You take 12 points. No, sorry. 10 points of bludgeoning damage. They don't get to hit very often, but when they do, dang do they.
Also, I think it doesn't help that that most of our hit dice I think are below like their like attack die.
They will. Well, no, technically. It rolls 2d6, so not technically.
Yeah, I was
Rose.
right.
Yes. With my hand still on your shoulder, I'm gonna ask just to be sure that it's still in front of you.
Yes, yes it is. It's directly in front of me.
Okay.
It also has +2 strength.
Can I ask you to like point my hand the right direction?
By all means.
Will you like point my hand straight at it?
Yes.
And now you wait
and
till
I'll
his
do
turn.
it.
You wait till his turn.
Oh,
But then you can do it together.
Okay.
Hey, it's your turn.
Okay, together, we hold her hand out at that thing and do whatever it is she wants to do.
Cast
Oh, that's true.
Eldritch Blast.
What'd you roll on that?
Eldritch
Josiah,
Blast.
she-
It's your choice.
Oh.
Yes, girl. Still with disadvantage, yes? Or...
With his aim at what is it? It's charisma, right?
Mm-hmm.
At his charisma modifier. Since he's aiming.
But
Could
still
be his dex,
still
I mean, he's
disadvantage?
just
That's true. His dex. No disadvantage.
No
Just use
disadvantage.
his dex
Or
instead.
wisdom. I don't know, you could argue almost any of them.
No, we'll
for
use his
that.
dex. We'll use dex. So Titus' dex.
Oh, and that one.
Oh, well, that
Oh.
does nothing.
Does not matter.
Nope.
Well, bad things.
You grab her arm and you're not ready for the energy to like kick back, and so there's kick, and when she goes, you and it hits Ava and she takes 1 point of force damage. Because she's right next to you guys.
I'm glad I moved.
He's just like standing in the corner Blair Witch style.
Right
He's
there.
like,
You did not.
Ignore you.
I will roll something and then you'll roll something and that will determine.
Okay. Wait.
Yes. I've decided.
Okay. If it makes it
Mood.
so unlikely.
You notice I didn't want to come.
First,
I don't want it to be like.
combat because like
it's a
like
50%
Bruno
chance.
Nicole was
Oh,
Hat's house.
okay.
So
That works.
So it's a 50% chance here and then yours.
love that. Roll.
Okay. That's a little
Why
bit
don't we
better.
have choice words?
Okay,
to say about
next
He's not
up
there.
is
He can't say anything.
the bloody stab back of death in the corner. The Blair Witch.
Do
Yeah,
something.
Blair Witch.
Roll to shoot between everyone in the party and hit it.
where'd it
That's
go?
cocked.
Oh my God.
It's on carpet.
Yeah. Over
that's it.
15.
Yeah, that's it.
And for what else do you get? 17.
It's like a very short.
How do you
arc.
wanna do this?
It's-
Yay! So just like turn around and there's just lasers flying everywhere, fire and force purple,
Yeah,
and I'm
the
trying to
coin's
like,
on fire.
I'm trying to like, and I just like shorten it, and I'm just.
It very slowly, and this thing just goes into the ground.
Are you aiming at like the oars? You're just like from
What?
the oars from like the Lord of the
Oh
Stone.
yeah.
And with that final death, you hear one last. I'll be in touch. And the door opens to the daylight.
Is there anything wooden
The
in
whole
the
thing.
whole thing?
Wooden vines.
Wooden vines.
No. Bastard.
Well, I leave.
Yeah, we all.
Who's
like-
dragging
Yeah,
Marin?
I take her out. We're going.
The three of us are like, bye.
Who's dragging Marin out of the shack?
Well, I have my responsibility.
I'm taking Maurice.
I guess
Okay.
I will if Quinn
I'm
does
on
it.
fire currently.
Alright,
How long
I'll
does that
drag
last?
him.
Both of the fluffies
I mean,
will like.
So as I'm walking out, I'm definitely just dragging
Oh,
my
yeah,
hands along the
really
walls to
hope
like
so.
Oh,
set the
It
place
catches
on
fire briefly, but then it goes out on its own.
I'll drag
I'm
him
just gonna
out.
burn her whole house.
She drives.
I go back in. I'm like,
Okay.
draw penis.
I do in the
I like
mines.
It definitely scorches a penis into it,
Good.
but the fire goes out
The traveler vibes.
wherever he is. Bless. All right.
Ready for this perspective shift?
Wow. You guys are now in the middle of the street. It's a sunny day. People are walking, living their lives. It's like
I'm
Not
walking
on
in.
fire
10
anymore.
a.m.
And if you want a finger, you can.
And Baron is unconscious but alive.
Oh, your horse.
He was outside.
I know.
And your horse is just standing there, just.
That's
Are you
your
saying
point.
I
Yes, we used it in the last session.
I'm waiting.
Oh, I'm gonna go find what's his face and
Martin.
confront him.
You saw which tavern you walked into.
So I go in there,
I'm
and
gonna
I draw
follow
my
him.
little axe, and I grab him by the collar, and I demand to know why he double-crossed us.
So you
wanna
storm
see
into this
this.
tavern and it's empty except for him sitting in
I
the corner.
let go of you as
Just-
you storm away.
Just.
Yeah, I leave you there.
I
No.
call him.
I leave you with him, and go confront him.
You walk up to him
Yes.
and you grab him and you pull the dagger out. And I need you to make an intimidation check. Whatever.
So I rolled a
Well,
six.
big difference.
I knew it was an action in my mind.
Much
Don't
more
ask him a
intimidation.
question.
Did I see him do this?
So-
Yeah,
I'd like to follow him.
Die.
So I rolled
What
4.
exactly
Okay,
happened?
so you're shaking and you're very clearly like disturbed by what happened. Because you may not have seen actual combat yet.
Yeah, I did. I killed that guy in the last
That's
one.
true, you did.
Do anything.
Oh, this was your second time ever
Yeah,
actually engaging, but this was definitely the scariest
More than I
you've
did.
been in, and you're a little shook, and you're just like,
Checking.
why'd you cross this man? And he's
I
just,
kind
he's
of
just,
hoped for the best.
Hey, let go of me, kid.
and he smacks your hand.
She's alright, bitch, but she was the only one who could tell you for sure where old Finnegan.
Did you know what she was?
Aye, of course I did. I shared the bed with her for 3 years.
Is that how you lost your eye?
I mean, it did say that
That is
she
one of
was
the
not
ways,
exactly a upstanding citizen.
Yes,
One of
but
the things
there's
I
a difference
learned
between
about-
that.
Poor.
There's a difference between those things and that.
She's a night hag.
Well, I know that now.
If you'd have just listened to her, she'd have helped you, that's all. You had the opportunity.
I'll leave in disgust.
You walk out, everyone else, he's still just sitting there in the corner. Anyone else talking to him?
Buy him a drink. Martin,
Appreciate it.
let's say what?
I said I appreciate it.
I don't know, from what you want. What you want? Sorry,
Yeah,
big accent.
I don't really care.
Alright. Get him a... Nah, you won't have that. Just get him our specialty ale. If you would.
I can do that.
Thank you.
Get some ale.
Martin, you were mentioning in your song the other day that Tim used to live on, or Mr. Finnegan, I don't know what I should call him in front of you.
Finny boy.
Fin- Probably shouldn't call him that, that seems like a rather private nickname, but whatever.
Yeah,
Tim,
do you care? It's probably dead.
right, he had a house, did he?
Hey, back in the day.
Does anyone live there now?
Not what I knew, but I haven't been there in years.
Could you take us there?
I might be willing.
Would another drink make you a little more willing?
Well, another drink would make me a little more willing.
Keep after this one, get him another round.
He drinks his 2 full things of ale.
Alright, I'll take you to Walking Street.
He gets up, saunters his little fat ass out the door.
You gotta make sure that he doesn't fall over.
He's fine.
Okay,
He
he's
can
not.
hold his ale.
He's not close to hammered yet.
Not quite.
Ollied.
Alright, so you guys walk for about 2 hours towards the mining district.
I'm awake. She's still on
You
fire.
are awake. No, she's no longer on fire. And while you guys
I'm
are
on
walking,
my horse.
you can have any conversation you want while I go pee. But not with Martin. He's very distant and ignoring you.
Quick question.
Quick answer.
If I'm like holding on to them, can I communicate telepathically?
Yeah.
We make like a slave.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what
Well,
happened.
because technically in the rules of telepathy, you have to see. Plants tried to kill us. Plants almost succeeded.
Yep.
But we were
We
like,
won.
but I was like, I
That's
wouldn't.
scary.
Look at me. So there are reasons that I.
So
How
quick,
bad do I look? Be honest.
By the way, what was that lump?
look a lot worse than I did.
The small child
Quinn.
was on fire.
On fuck.
Does that happen often, or was that the first time?
Occasionally. But I'm.
Did it have something to do with that guy that was that slightly burned dude in the room last time? Like in the courthouse?
Maybe.
No. Okay.
He
I
scared
believe it.
me.
True.
It's a reaction. That is quite intense.
So that always happened, or was there some kind of triggering
Yes.
event?
Very warm. I mean,
I mean, do you remember something? It was like, oh, that's the moment when I started turning into a raging fireball.
it was a recent event, yeah.
So you weren't born like this.
No, I mean,
But you know.
there was no,
How old are you?
22?
told me
Insight
that as
check.
Inside.
Oh, wait.
I believe her.
I don't care. She's smaller than I am. What is going on?
I do
She
not.
said she told her she was 22.
I don't believe you.
Quinn?
Crap.
Yeah.
11. What did you?
16.
17.
I rolled 17.
Let's go. Let the truth be told.
Oh, she's whispering.
Oh, she's gonna come away
I want you to know everyone
Yeah,
that died.
that's fair.
Well,
Alright. Well,
anyone got any thing to pick me up? Not literally, but I'm not feeling really hot here. I slap him.
I'll put a bunch of damage in your back. I got no kidding.
Ow.
That's not lethal bludgeoning damage.
Oh, seriously, why'd you have to do that?
I'm just seething.
Also, we could have figured out something. Deception.
That black flower I took, I'm totally just burning in my hand.
Oh, it's gone.
She saw the head.
Also, we
She
could have
literally-
made a play or something like that.
She,
You know,
she
should
was
have
listening
listened
to
to
that.
Space
Everything you said,
Yeah.
so-
And is that the front of
I
the...
did say that.
Yeah, because
I'm
we
just
were talking
like
about
staring daggers
Maybe
in the
we
back of
should
his
Let's
head.
do that. I'm like, you never looked like
I
an
just-
elf, so
Yeah.
I'm ruining that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't give us a time
Right.
limit.
What exactly do you see with those eyes of yours?
That's a great question that I wish I could answer.
How many fingers am I holding up?
That's really rude.
That's rude.
I'm just holding up 3 fingers.
She can't see it.
She's blind.
Sort of.
She's blind, but she's capable of seeing certain
It's
nondescript things.
let's just say it's a new thing. It
So you
hasn't
couldn't see before.
been this way no. And now I can only see certain things. And I'm still kind of trying to figure out what exactly I can see. Let's just say that hag is not the first thing I've seen. Or the first person.
Since.
The bearded man in the tavern. Did you all see him? There was a fourth
Yeah,
person
you all saw him.
at the table with Martin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw him, but I could not see. I knew there were
Yeah,
other
Martin
people.
couldn't.
I think
Or he
Martin
was
was a little
just
gone.
drunk.
He was a tiny bit
I don't
squizzled,
think
you
he
might
was
say.
quite present.
But
Yeah.
I knew there were other people, but he specifically didn't mention the bearded man, and I could see. He's the only one I could see in that tavern.
By the way, we're going to be having this conversation far enough away from Martin that he can't quite hear.
Sure. So I'm still trying to figure it out. Just kind of been stumbling around for a little bit. I have this sword that I can see. Is the sword still glowing and I can still see it? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not glowing, but you can see it.
Oh, okay. But, yeah, I can see this.
Is it?
I can see my own breath, which you can probably see.
Ah,
Every time
not
it comes.
right now.
Every time I talk, you see like a little puff of
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's what made
Frosty
me
looking
ask
hair.
that if you were arcane or could do magic.
Stop that!
I
I'm over it.
I'm just asking.
I mean, apparently you can light on fire, so your friend seems a little bit more.
She's the better version of me. Let's say that.
Better. You're talking about me.
Wow,
Yeah.
you must be really bad.
What are you doing?
I am terrible. I can't
Oh,
help
don't
it.
say that about yourself.
Get out of my
I was
head,
I
bud.
was born and raised in a brothel, so
Well, sometimes we can't help our circumstances.
That's
Put your best foot forward, mate, and that was not it.
I can
But
lead
but
us
it's
to the
all right.
castle.
We're not doing that right now.
Alright.
Maybe, but I mean, I don't especially have a strong motivation to go back anywhere to that ag.
I have no interest in seeing her again.
I guess
And
if
frankly, I'm not too thrilled about who we're following right now.
Well, did you hear what she said about scrying? Scrying's like a method that magical folk can look at other magical, well, not necessarily, magical folk can look at people.
Isn't it like some like powerful people, like only few can do it?
It's definitely not your garden variety magic, no.
Does that mean she could be watching us right now?
Probably, yeah. So,
Excellent.
so, it's probably best to assume that she knows what we're doing. And frankly, I don't think that should make a difference in what we do, but just know that if we need to meet anybody, there's a decent chance to know about it.
Perfect.
Hold up.
Yet another thing
Titus.
that our friend failed to mention to us.
Don't
Quick
you love making
question.
enemies?
Titus, quick question. You talked about these armbands and about how they're there. Do you have any idea of like their functions?
I don't know. Josiah, would I know?
I'm sorry, what are these?
After the allotted time is up, the brain of the person who the armband is attached to rots immediately from the inside out. The person dies.
Like I'm asking.
That is it.
In the sense.
Unless they
Can
are.
we chop our arms off?
Mm-mm.
What? Okay.
Um,
I was just wondering if because like they told us that this would track our locations and stuff like that.
well, then it's likely that our friend is not the only person that knows where we are.
Hallelujah. What am I supposed to do with my life now?
In your heads, remember those things. They might also know how to find you.
Yes.
Gonna keep my eye out.
Sure.
I know.
I'm gonna miss.
What did you want by that? Good job.
A mighty 9.
A 9.
Well, then, well,
I mean,
What are you looking for? Anything in particular?
he just mentioned
It's like
people
something
watching
that
us, so
my-
I'm watching for.
I know
Hi.
people. I'm sorry.
At
I'm
the
hearing
moment-
conversation. I'm right here. And, like,
You don't
hello
see-
there. It's
All right.
like in my
really wanted
head.
that to work.
It helps with private conversation. I did it long
I
enough
was
ago.
when we're talking in person. You don't need to like message me and be like, hello there. And,
Well,
like,
we're
hello
still
there
watching.
now.
so
It's private when it's like
Why is it-
like speak private message.
He looks
Wait,
like he
no,
knows
but
where he's
didn't you
going.
just do a second
He's
ago?
walking with purpose.
This is his best
Wait,
friend.
his
Like,
arms,
you know
like
where
he's
he's
in
going.
his
He's walking with
class,
purpose.
apparently.
Oh, you're talking about like in the tavern?
That's my
No, like.
Is he walking in a circle though?
His body just kind of.
Are there any, like, city guard around?
Like a while ago?
Oh yeah,
like,
you pass by a
just
city guard probably once every 5
Do
10
they
minutes.
seem to
No.
Message me?
notice
No.
I'm
our
sorry,
companion?
Quinn. What did you say? Good, nothing. We're fine. You said voice
I'm
in
also
your
gonna
head.
keep my-
It's
No, trust
it's
no,
the
he's,
thing with
he's
my
got this
eye.
thing, like, he
I'm
can
gonna keep my eye out
message
for
people
large
and
rocks.
stuff, and I, you know,
That's about
I
a pound.
feel
Roll a
like
perception
shit,
check.
so I just
It's an
be.
18.
You find
Are you
5
sure?
on the walk.
I'm
Cool.
quite versed in people in your head, unfortunately.
I
You have
think-
voices in your head?
No.
Are you messaging her too?
No.
Do you message people?
I only do it with
I-
people I'm familiar with, and I know
Oh.
you kind of long enough to be familiar with you.
I can. You hear that?
Like friendship familiar.
Yeah, no, you had
Not done.
I can talk to people in their heads, and you hear that in your head. Why is everyone talking in my head? Your mouth. Let's use them.
She's just creeped out because first I was talking in her head, and then your friend is talking in
I'm
your head.
sorry, I won't do it, but I'm just letting you know.
Thanks.
If you hear things, let me know.
Sure, yeah.
Alright, so as you guys are walking along, eventually Martin turns down a street and there's houses along this street, like more like shacks, smaller houses. You're in the mining district, so this is where quite a few of the workers in the city live. And one of the houses has a chimney. He kind of turns and motions to it. He's like, "Aye, this is where all the Finny used to live. Back before he moved on. You're free to take a look. It doesn't look like anyone lives there at the moment.
Did he have family?
No, he
significant other?
No, not that I know of anyway. Unless you kept that a secret too.
It wasn't you, I assume.
It was not
Purely platonic.
purely platonic. I had my eye on someone else back in the day.
Will they go in?
It's worth a shot.
Well, does it look abandoned?
Yes.
Does it look really abandoned?
Yes.
It's worth a
Is
shot.
the door like locked or anything?
No.
I
I mean,
don't-
well, blocked. Yes. Sorry. No, I thought you said blocked. You twist the handle in.
I'd be a little bit careful.
He raced to pull out the use tools faster.
Hang on. This
I'm
wasn't
joining the
exact-
fight.
Hang on, if this guy's been missing for 25 years, don't you think the first place most people would look would be his house?
I think the doctor's got a point.
Also, I'd like to say, if the guard sees you just breaking into his front door in the daylight, there's likely to be questions.
And that is another great point.
I'm a debt collector, I do what I want.
I'm off on the side muttering, and my eyes are glowing slightly.
Is there a window?
My name carries weight.
Oh wait. Aha. Quinn.
Yes,
We could
just
break
because
we could
in a language you definitely
go
can't
in.
understand. So
Sit
don't
somewhere
try.
across the street.
Okay. Perception check.
I'm muttering in a language you all can't understand. Let's
That's
try
a
that.
four.
Hey, yeah. So, yeah, you
alright,
should
city.
do that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna go in and start piking the lock.
I'll keep an eye out for guards.
Roll a perception check.
I'm gonna make small talk.
20.
At the moment, you do not see any guards around the streets or the rooftops. But it's midday, so most people are at work. Would you? What are you making?
I'm just talking to Maurice.
Okay. Go.
13.
13. It's an old rusty lock. There takes a second, but eventually. And as that, you do see a batch of Actually, yeah, it is Queen's Guard rounding the corner. And they're full armor with braziers on their shoulders. Currently not lit.
Caca.
I'm gonna take that paper
I
and just go stand
Stay right
near the thing, near the gate, looking officially.
I'll stand with him.
I'm
Are you
gonna
pulling that like in? We see that?
Yeah, go let her.
Decide.
Just
The
looking
guards
down
kind of-
officially.
Approach, and one of the lead guard steps forward.
Hello, sir.
And what do you think you're doing here?
You're all so fancy.
What?
So you're the condemned we heard about.
What?
And does this have to do with the faceless?
It does indeed.
Yes, sir.
Insight check.
It does, sir. Yeah. Good.
Natural one.
Well, you will have a lovely day. You just continue. Let's go, lads. And they continue on their way. One of the younger ones is like,
How young? I'm concerned.
like 16 probably.
Alright. Who's going
Shall we
first?
have a look at the house? So,
Alright, if it makes you feel better, I'm texting people in the group.
I'll step into the house.
I'll follow you.
Yeah, okay. So you step into the house, and it's a simple, open, kind of entryway. To your left, there's a ratty old living room. There's a staircase going up and a hallway that leads back to the kitchen. To your right, sorry, to your left is a ratty old dining room. To your right is a ratty old living room.
I'll go have a look upstairs.
Okay. So you start making your way up the staircase.
I'm going to go look in the back. The hallway.
Oh, do you go down the hallway that takes you into the ratty old kitchen? And there's a ratty old back porch back there. Anyone else entering into the house?
Is it literally ratty?
There's a couple rats.
I'm
There's a
not
couple
there.
rats. There's a couple
Not
rats.
the rats.
I'll
though.
stay out. unless
No,
you need me.
but there are rats.
Okay.
Just watching.
I'm just gonna.
I'm outside, so I don't actually see
My
her.
eyes go inside. Eyes slightly glowing, you know. I wanna
Maurice and I
snag
get chilling,
Rose
keeping
and
an
be
eye
like,
out.
Hey,
What's upstairs?
Okay, so you make your way upstairs, and there's a bedroom
Sure.
on your
Sorry,
left,
I didn't mean to disturb
and
you.
then what appears to be at the end of the hallway on your right, and there's a bathroom straight for them.
I'll start in the office.
Okay, so you make your way into the office. Go ahead and roll an
Would you have a-
investigation check
no.
for me.
I'm
Okay,
going
got
to. I'm going to.
Wrong one.
So the
Look at-
kitchen, and then to your left is a second living room, and the kitchen kind of connects around to your
No,
right
I
to
really like that.
the other living room.
So I rolled 19.
Okay. that's
19? Okay, so you
here.
start working your way through the desk, fiddling through papers
Well,
and stuff.
you
I'll get back to you.
just scooch over
Actually,
a little bit.
I'll just go ahead and say, do you find this?
Yeah. Sure.
I'm going to check like the kitchen. I'm going to start
We're
some
scooching
like,
farther away.
cabinets.
Goodbye.
The cabinets and shelves.
First cabinet you open, a large
Do it.
runs off.
So you
Have my dagger open and just-
Second cabinet, two large rats. They run off.
How does that usually go?
I like my lantern.
Well,
Not even doing it. Just showing. Not even like showing myself. Just showing my lantern.
I learned
You hear
from
four
my
large rats.
parents that you just kind of have to talk back. Sometimes you wait.
Does the
Sometimes
subject
there's an
of
immediate
this
answer. It
mean
depends on the
anything?
person.
Unless it means something to you, no.
Okay.
Because if you're hearing something now, so
But that's one of the pieces of paper you
What
find
do
on
you
the
hear?
desk. Everything else is older. You see a small essay on the intricacies of lavender sprig and its medicinal properties.
no.
I'll go have a look
It's
at
been a
that.
good bit of a conversation. That's why I was
check
on the back porch.
Okay.
I'm worried about someone, and someone else
You have to
is.
work on you first. Making your way to the back
Listen.
porch, there's an old kind of
And they're
hanging,
cold.
sagging couch sitting on the back. Like it's like a screened-in porch with like net almost. So there's a saggy old couch. There's a chandelier hanging lopsided.
No, I don't
Um,
really
have, like,
because
conversation
those
with
two
a small
abandoned
like
me.
coffee.
We're just hanging out outside.
Good.
Yeah, I'm from outside.
Tell who was talking to me. They were like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
this
true.
is her name, and you know, blah, blah,
Fair.
blah, and like,
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. Kind of
Where you-
sketchy.
where you going?
right?
I'm gonna be. I'm
That
gonna
makes sense. I'm trying to
stop
figure out
like
who's
looking
in
at
my
shelves
head
and
right
like
now.
kind of like start looking like feeling the floor.
Because my
perhaps.
friend
It's
was
moldy. They're soft to the touch.
You had a friend in your head?
Tight.
To explain it.
You go to the bedroom. There's
Yes.
one large bed that's
Oh,
sunk
sure,
in
yeah,
from
yeah,
each
yeah.
of
It's
lack of
complicated, but
upkeep.
Yes.
There's a huge
Is
hole
it a good
in the
idea
roof
to keep
where
talking
you
back?
can see the
Yeah,
rain and the weather has
Can I,
gotten
like,
into the room.
Tell them stuff about me?
The bed
Or,
the bed has
Oh,
banisters.
some
It's a very
even a quill.
it's an ornate
Yeah,
bed,
paper.
but it's ancient. Chandelier in the room. It's not hanging from the ceiling, but sitting in the middle of the floor with broken
Oh,
glass
fine.
everywhere.
the truth is,
Skull,
it's
yeah,
very
you said
long.
Alright, nothing for me there.
It's
I'm gonna go
just
back
in the
outside.
middle of a
Okay.
thing, and you don't need to
So
tell.
Titus exits the house.
I'm gonna check
Which
the
means I would
living room.
hold
like,
back
second
on
living room.
telling them just in
A large curved couch, coffee table, windows overlooking the back yard of the house, like a small garden that's
Oh
overgrown.
my god, who are you?
You can tell
Would
that they used to
this,
entertain
would
guests.
this name
Stuff
mean
Very
like that.
formal, kind of.
I'm gonna take.
And then was like, oh,
Okay,
you should
do an
give me your
investigation.
name.
You
and
come
zero
up to
on
him.
my head. And they were like, look at my
Where are you
room,
going?
it's fun.
I'm like, hey.
I'm not gonna be like, I'm all here for
I
like
just went to
fun
the room
and
and then come
stuff
out.
like that, but like,
Second.
Old, moldy, rotten couches and pillows and whatnot.
yeah.
Do I have a name?
Okay.
Sorry, it's not very descriptive. I don't really know what's going on.
Not you. No.
Kind of like,
Mind
Doctor,
bizarre.
would you mind helping us?
I mean, I'm curious.
Take a look at this now.
I'm gonna use that paper when you're done.
I'm down for it, but
I had
You have your arm around him in
kind
character.
of like knowing, you know?
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna
Kind
check
of,
the
that's-
other living
That's
room.
kind of where I am.
Roll
I'm on a
investigation.
journey of trying to learn something.
He's got like a lot of like.
18.
Here, I'm gonna transcribe that to
You do
my
find a
mental
small
notes
pouch
first.
of 3 gold tucked away, but outside of that,
Who's doing?
What's up?
What happens? What?
I heard it.
you know what? You
Yeah.
do find something else.
Sorry,
You find a false floorboard.
my brain.
When you open that up, you see stairs that go down into
How
a
old
basement.
are you? I'm not very old myself.
I
I'm
will
honest.
address
I'm
that.
just-
That was there. You
What-
rolled an
what's
18,
happening?
right?
How long
Yeah, I
is
thought you
this?
said 8.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well,
Promise
the
line.
like the voice in my head
Roll
things
history.
like today.
Roll a medicine check.
Since what?
Um,
In particular?
Where are you right now?
she's outside.
Yeah.
Everyone, you're the only
Walk
one.
over here.
Where's my medicine?
Really?
Doing this again?
Call
You
it
doing
out.
this again?
I'm not. I'm
That's a
just
Yeah.
gonna lay my last
Nothing.
name.
Anthony?
Well, thank you anyway for your help.
I mean, there was
Look,
very.
come outside. Yo, people!
And
I
you-
found a false floorboard. Might lead us somewhere.
Oh, excellent.
We're all the way outside.
Yeah, no, he stepped out the door.
Oh,
Dang.
Let's go have a look.
Right, yeah, that.
Okay, are you going in? Who else? Anyone else going in? No?
would you like to keep
Yeah,
talking or
well,
should we
no.
follow?
Just
what,
me?
when you mean might lead us somewhere, what does that mean, fam?
What? Seriously, it's not. It
I'll
lead,
do
could
that
lead
when you're
somewhere.
done.
Could lead nowhere.
So it's just me, I guess, going with him.
At the moment, he's talking to Quinn, so you're waiting awkwardly.
I'm just dancing around. Okay, whatever. Let's go.
Okay, so the two of you. Okay, so you go into the inner area. You go into the living room on the right, and you see that he has ripped up like a section of the floorboard that wasn't quite aligned, and there's staircase that descended to darkness.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'll
I'm way
go.
over
Yeah,
here.
when you're done with that.
Alvine kind of slumps in after you.
That is
I'm going.
somewhat
I,
random.
Like
I
the
have
second
lit.
cat I
I lit my lantern, and I'm going to
My
kind
past, I've not had that kind of
Okay, so
experience.
he's going downstairs. I don't trust what's
Here,
going on
let me
here,
try
so I'm
something.
gonna get out my little axe and I'm gonna
Like, I'll
follow
be,
them.
give me just 2 seconds. No, I think I
Okay.
understand. Okay.
I also have my
You're gonna
like my sword.
ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
So lantern in one hand, short sword in the other. You make your way down the flight of stairs and into another smaller room, open, and immediately you're just looking around you. It's just filled to the brim with potted plants. Up against one wall, there's a large desk with multiple like glass tubes and pipes and beakers and various other things. There's like a little spot where he could light a fire underneath like a beaker that's sitting there with an old green looking liquid in it.
Okay, we'll see if that.
Yeah. It's
I did a little thing.
just a very complicated looking alchemy set.
I'll call out for our doctor friend here and see if he'll come down and help us.
Alchemy, you
I don't
said?
know. Life's changed a lot in the past. Like,
Are
We're
you
gonna-
inside with them?
Yeah, she's
I
like,
am, but I can come back out if you
no,
want.
I understand
We're gonna
that.
start kind of.
Robyn, do
I-
you mind sitting with
Well, given how I
Maurice for
said
a
I'm
while?
new to being blind. I've been blind about a week.
okay.
Oh,
What you need?
Doctor, does this mean anything to you?
And-
Anything in
that's
here?
There's an alchemy set.
I don't think I'm proficient with that.
I am.
A month
You
and
are?
a half,
That's
possibly?
cool.
Well, you recognize it.
I don't know what happened. But you don't remember?
Oh, if anyone's
As far as I
interested.
know.
I'm just gonna turn Robyn's thing
I love it.
Yeah.
Would I have
But I
experienced
don't know my full
seeing this
name.
kind of thing at university?
Oh, definitely.
I can't read that.
No, I
Right,
can't
but
read
would
that
I
from here.
have an
I'm
idea
sorry.
of like a more precise idea
can't
of
really
what some of
either.
this stuff
So it's
does?
okay.
Make a history check.
It's just, it's
Make
just
it. Make them.
It's just pretty.
Yeah, make a history
Scribble,
check.
scribble some things during this.
History.
What was that?
The first roll was a lot better. That's an 8.
You were out of it for like a
Probably
while back.
not.
All I know is that
You've seen this fancy stuff, but you were always more
something
interested
happened
in
to me.
Living thing.
living thing. Well, living non-plant thing. You were
Um,
more interested in the animal
Second of human.
kingdom.
I'm gonna take a
Almost
look.
full
I'm
of
gonna take
pulses.
kind of a look around, see what the ingredients are that like are kind of using, like kind of what stuff. over here.
Sure.
I'm also gonna
Nothing
just continue to
almost
look around
period.
if I can.
Yeah.
A few things.
It's just
But I
various
don't know what I was.
plants.
If I
You don't
was, if that makes sense.
really recognize any of them. Like, I mean, you see some that's just like bags of grass. There's interesting looking flowers. There's a couple like seed looking things. There's some fruits.
And can't find my family. Someone moved into our house.
Liquids, strange liquids and beakers. Nothing that really rings a bell.
Any of the plants look weird, out of the ordinary?
There's
How
one
did you find
that's
them?
That's why I'm
Family
like
thinking
the
kinda
petals have a
important.
soft pinkish hue inside,
That's why I'm
like glowing.
Heard and
Like they're closed.
mother
and
wrote a
the
note
pink hue kind of glowing out from inside of it.
The beakers, like gonna like kind of see if I can tell what
I
they
hope
are.
we
Like,
can find
smell.
them.
They all smell rotten and old. You almost throw up after sniffing.
Don't
for
sniff
some reason.
directly
What
over
about
that.
this?
That's true.
Fire.
You
Yeah,
make a
well-
Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, or you sniffed the beaker.
Natural 20.
Alright, fine.
Get out.
I'm gonna go back upstairs and talk to
You don't have any
Okay.
nose hair anymore.
You see that Rose is currently in conversation.
Rose, might I have a word for just
Can you read this?
no, I'm here. Does any
What?
Serenity Calendar mean anything?
Does it? Do I need to roll for it?
Yeah, you should roll. Roll a history check.
Come on, have you seen this kind of thing before?
I have
14.
one of the
You've heard the name.
people that I worked with.
You're not entirely sure where.
He
um,
has
Is there any calendar?
quite this
Your
fancy,
mom
but it serves all
did
the same
something with her
things.
once back
You
in
know
the
what
day.
this kind of thing does.
But you're not,
It,
you
like,
can't remember
makes-
exactly what she did.
It's like makes potions and stuff like that.
Where'd you find that?
He's a bit of an optimist.
Oh, I found it in his office.
It
What
kind
does
of
it say?
It
tell
says,
me, 'cause it was
Tim,
interesting,
bring
so-
the chromis slime to
Big
my
one.
office,
Just
and
like-
don't be late this time.
Well, I
Or,
can
like,
say that
to make, like,
it sounds very familiar. I think my mum would have done something with her.
Interesting.
Interesting.
We do a bunch of stuff.
That's all I
Hmm.
can think of, but it does sound familiar.
But
I get the feeling he wasn't exactly making gunpowder down here.
Sounds
No.
like
Should
a
we-
clue.
Try and find her.
I believe that she's the missing link here.
I'm
How
not
do I-
Salisbury.
Oh,
Okay,
wait.
okay, okay.
Had I heard the name Serenity Calendar? No. Would I
You would
cross
have
that
not.
off?
You would not have.
I believe that our friend Serenity is the missing link. Thoughts?
You know, you don't recognize a lot of these.
I mean, if a woman had worked together at some point,
Ingredients
I
anyways.
think she could be very helpful.
They're all like powders and that sort of thing. Like,
Please don't let me continue to interrupt your conversation.
Really well, I'm wondering.
I would go back and up and join the others.
Right. Just give me one moment. I'm gonna go over to that flower and cut one of the flowers off.
The petals?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the flower itself.
The
What do you
whatever
think?
bit was
If you
glowing,
wanna attack
I'm
it,
gonna try and
you can try.
get an intact one of those.
Okay, so you cut the entire flower off.
Is there only one
And
flower?
by the way,
No, there's multiple
you can
flowers.
torch
Okay.
it to me
So you're
when
just
she
cutting
does.
one off?
I'll take a little bit of the stem too.
Okay, so you cut it off,
Okay.
and it continues to glow.
I'm gonna.
But just gently and from inside, like something inside the petals that are closed is glowing, is what it looks like.
I'm gonna stick in my bag.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's a
Oh, okay.
glowing flower. Is
he's
that
still
accurate?
stealing
Yep,
stuff.
yep, yep. He's not the first one today.
Yeah.
They're just really hiding it from you. Alright, what's everyone doing?
We're coming back up.
How much does it pains me to say? I bet
Huh?
Martin might have a clue who Serenity
Why? I don't know
Calendar
why
is.
though.
I have no interest in speaking to him.
You just kind of stare at me.
Did you find anything
Yeah,
else?
Martin's currently just sitting on the front porch,
Yes.
drinking from a
Um,
flask.
Yes, we did. We found a note addressed to Tim from Serenity Calendar. Perhaps Martin has a clue
In my spare time
as to who she is.
I'm just gonna ask him like what that language was earlier that I heard him speak,
Confirm.
and
Yeah.
and if he can teach me something.
Eventually, I would like to.
Oh, just in like spare time, just like random words. Like, cause we have like various little.
Yes, of course.
throughout the
And
day.
he'll teach you a few words here and there, as you go.
Do I
Are you
recognize
approaching?
her name?
You do not. Are you approaching me?
I'm gonna approach the doctor and see if he'll approach Martin. Because I'm still a little mad at him.
What's up?
Doctor, would you be willing to ask Martin who, if he knows who Serenity Calendar is?
Yeah, shit, I can do that.
Thank you.
Oi, Marvin. Martin, sorry. It's not
What
Martin.
can I do for you?
Hey, how you been?
Here,
Do you have a day job?
I drink.
That's a great day job.
That's not bad. Pays the bills.
Right, we might need to talk about that later, but I do have a question for you. While we were looking around, we found this tattered old note with a name on it, asking for Tim. It's Serenity Calendar.
Don't ring a bell.
Don't ring a bell. Don't know if you work with anyone like that.
Not that I know.
I'm gonna see if I believe him.
Roll insight check.
Did he work with anybody?
Aye, Tim used to work many jobs with many people. He,
Kind of a freelance.
aye, his alchemy business took him all over. I don't.
I rolled 8.
I mean, I rolled really low as well. He looks like he's genuine.
Do you know anyone else?
How drunk is he at the moment?
He's probably pretty tipsy.
Aye, not really. We kept business out of what we talked about because he doesn't like what I do.
Drink?
That's one way to say it, yeah.
And what's the other, if I may ask?
Squizzling.
Government embezzling.
Ah.
Excuse me?
Okay,
But you
question.
hear
How,
that
how,
from me.
may I ask, like, what is it that you, like, have done in the past?
Me? Oh, well, thank you for asking.
Like your job?
Oh, well, I grew up on an estate a little ways away.
About a
I
week's ride. About a week.
About a week's ride to the southeast from here. My father is the head of the estate there. We come from a family that's been the noble family from that estate for generations. So I've spent my whole life helping with matters of governing the manor, governing the village, working with the villagers. So I've worked in government, I've worked in money, I've been trained for combat. My goal is to become the eventual head of my family. So that's what I do. So
Right there.
Oh.
You're if I hold up this map, you're well.
Okay.
Yeah.
but unfortunately, some of my relatives don't take their obligation very heavily.
Duties.
Absolutely.
You said dude. It's a college professor.
Duty, honor, whatever.
And
I'm not
it's
Who needs that?
lowlifes and scum that are taking advantage of our governing system and running places like this into the ground. It's the reason we have so much poverty here. It's
And-
disgusting.
Our governing system?
No, this is not
Well,
my.
you've all taken a short rest during this time.
Oh yay! Oh, that's what he said.
Hey, let's go.
Here's my hit die.
Come back. Roll your hit die.
I'm not.
So what do you have to do?
I'm
And
still
add
nowhere
whatever
close
those
to
your
a
points.
lot.
Brett, you're fine.
Yeah, I get hit at all. So
We're good.
Ah, yes.
Add your constitution modifier as well.
Oh yeah, add your constitution.
Sweet,
modifier.
really?
Yep.
And everything.
All hit dice rolls.
Yes!
people like him
Thank you.
lining their pockets at the expense of the people of this country is disgusting.
I missed it.
Dishonorable. Not you.
No.
He's motioning to Martin.
I'm pretty sure he didn't know. I cannot see, but I'm
It's disgusting and it's dishonorable.
Well, sometimes we kind of do.
Clearly
things
doesn't
to
care.
No.
He's
I'm
full on
directing
his
it
phone.
directly at him.
He's on his phone.
He speaks alcohol.
Some-
That's it.
Alcohol.
Some people just don't have
Solid.
those skills. or
We
the-
speak the same language.
don't have
You
the skills
smell
or
the same
expertise
language,
that we need in order to climb.
It's not even about climbing necessarily. It's just about doing what's right in the situation that you're in.
Gentlemen,
Yes.
we have other business.
Yes, of course. Sorry. Go ahead.
Gestured to him.
What are you gesturing to me for?
Well, we found the thing, so we have other things to do other than sit and talk about our whatevers.
That's true.
Either way,
Not-
deviating away from the conversation.
I'd like to ask you a question, and it's alright if you don't remember. But do you remember what exact
Who are you asking?
Martin?
Okay.
Do you remember what Tim was working on before he just up and left?
Again, we kept work out of our day to day. Never talked about his business side, didn't talk about mine.
Never any exceptions.
Never any exception.
Was there anyone that he was seeing?
Roll an insight check.
Was there anyone that he was seeing?
Again,
No, I'll roll that.
never talked about work.
Not.
Socially.
Yes.
Not that I know of.
Does the name Angel ring any bells?
Not any for me. Big city.
Let's see if he's lying.
Make an insight check.
Make an insight check
That's
on my
18.
head.
No one ever mentioned that Fendra was in the city.
Do you know him outside the city?
Not the direction I meant you to go.
Oh my god.
I told you I've never met the man.
Who said he was a man?
Okay, just said Fendral.
How would you know he's in the city if you don't know him?
Again, big city. You're all in the city, I'm in the city, can draw assumptions.
It's not like that place called Wilmore where everybody knows everyone.
Where is that?
Somewhere far away.
Far west.
Then I wouldn't.
Fall of town, from what I hear. Bunch of crazy people live there.
Anyway, if you have no more need for me, I can't give you anything else involving Finny. I'll just be on my way unless you've got something else to ask.
You said you knew they worked a couple different jobs. Is there like a place they worked to like a while ago?
Every now and then he'd tell me he'd be out of town for a few days. Never asked where. Every now and then he'd say he'd be out of the southern basin for a few days. Never asked where. He'd go into the inner city or out into the country.
He's sitting on a step, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna come sit next to him and be like, so, Marvin.
Aye.
Marvin.
Aye.
You know, being like accused of murder and stuff kind of like gets you on talking basis with like, you know, some important people in the city who, you know, can put you in jail.
Aye, I've been there myself.
Yeah. The whole like embezzling deal, right?
Aye.
Is that like common knowledge? Would like a judge be interested in hearing that information or whatever?
If you're talking about Tathvia,
Yeah.
she won't care.
No?
No, but I know a few. I have connections.
I'd like
Honestly,
to see
like-
you try.
I would. Don't test me.
I mean,
Everyone you could possibly go to comes to me.
Like, we have one ally here. Let's not make him, well, shall we say, a bit warm under the hat.
I understand, Doctor. For your sake, I'll back off.
yeah.
We're really just trying to do good and be helpful.
Aye, you're the last ones of that in this city.
Well, then wouldn't it be worthwhile, like, you know, kind of help us out? You know a whole lot. We know you do.
We've got a saying here in the city. If you keep your mouth shut and your hand open, you might just get filthy, stinking rich.
I hate this
Disgusting.
there. Oh, I know, I've got
He had his hand open. He's
I appreciate you.
Sorry, I just realized that's his own money.
It is. Yeah, he kept walking into taverns and not having money, and you guys kept buying drinks for him, so he never noticed he didn't have money.
Right, that was the goal. Martin,
Aye.
do you want Tim back?
Finny was my best friend. And he was a right bastard.
As best friends tend to be.
As best friends tend to be. I feel like I'd like him back, but after what he did, after leaving like that, I'm not inclined to go out and sacrifice to look for a man who didn't sacrifice for me.
It's fair enough. I just don't want to ask you to do something that you feel strongly against.
Not strongly, but an eye for an eye. He points at his empty eye socket.
Yeah, right.
That is
I like
not
it better
the
this
solution
way.
to that problem.
It's more intimidating.
That's fair. What's intimidating?
Oh yeah, he doesn't have any.
He's
Bless you, child.
missing an eye.
I'm gonna give a stink eye to quit.
Alright.
I'm sorry, something...
Just
There was a lot of silence there. There hasn't been. I've been kind of zoning in and out. Did I miss something?
We're trying to see if our friend here knows anything else about the city that he would be particularly inclined to tell us.
Okay, and the silence.
Just quiet.
The giveaway was the stink eye.
She doesn't notice. You feel an aura of anger.
Oh gosh, we got a charismatic.
His chakras are not aligned.
That is not what charismatic means.
Do I look like I care?
Woo.
I could contact the friend of mine and see what he's got up.
Did they ever get back to you?
No.
Hmm.
Also, I kind of left that district. But he'll be fine.
I was about to say, you left a note and then left.
True.
Is there a university in Aceivrish?
There is not. Not a major one anyway.
Well,
There's
is
just
there-
a-
We're poor.
Is there a college or a school?
Yeah, there's a school.
Is there any kind of higher learning
Did I
place?
go
There is a higher learning place within the area of the council hall, but
Would I know anybody? Would any of my students be there?
Maybe.
I
It's been a long
but I
time.
don't know.
it's been a long time.
Remember. That is travel, so.
And it's pretty far from where you're at. You're in the, well, it'd be about maybe a day, 2 days walk.
Really?
Yeah, the city's bigger than I did during session zeros. I just wanted to get you guys around the place a little bit. But you guys actually didn't go very far. You guys weren't in the city at all.
No, we weren't.
It's more you guys.
We.
I fast traveled you guys a lot.
Yeah,
you
you
guys actually was pretty accurate because you didn't go very far.
Pretty sure it was.
Well, I'm off. Heading back to the wooden shoe.
What time is it?
It's wait a minute, IRL or in-game?
In-game.
Okay.
Noon.
I'm headed back to the wooden shoe. I'm meeting with a client in a couple hours. So get ready for that.
He starts to walk away.
Well,
Once he's out of earshot, you'll get the sense that not just gonna be of much more use to us.
I agree.
Drunk,
Seems to be a bit of a dead end.
drunkards only can get so far.
Not dead end as much of a just out of. It's been 25 years. It's a long time. It's a cold case.
I suggest we either look for the Serenity calendar or for your drug friend.
Perhaps we could ask your drug friend if or she knows this person.
That's kind of what I was wondering.
I would probably hinge a bet that they might know someone who knows them.
Kind of knows a lot of people. Where could we start?
Then let's have a look.
He was
Maybe we
in
can
the,
head back towards where we kind of saw him last, but it's like a day of travel away.
it's a while. It's a ways.
Well, it's the only chance we've got at the moment.
Actually, no, you saw him in the mining district.
Yeah, and then
You're in the mining district.
Yeah, we are or not.
we traveled back.
Yeah,
That's fine.
it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
far.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
keeping
like-
track. I have a map.
Just
I have
kidding.
a map
I'm
in front of
really
me.
not paying attention.
It is not far from where you currently
So
are.
stuff sounds
Okay,
familiar.
So we can
Yeah.
we can go head back towards where we last saw him.
Excellent.
That one
Might take you
avenue.
half an hour to get there from here. You can guess.
By my travel?
Maybe an hour.
No, 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 no,
Oh,
no, by
no,
my
yeah. By
travel.
your travel technically yes, half an hour.
Okay.
But by your travel, like an hour.
Sure.
What?
What?
Hmm?
Don't worry
I
about
follow.
it.
The confusion aura.
It was meant for.
I can take us back.
Yeah, it's meant for
Let's
me.
do it if you're willing.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I like
With that, that's where we're gonna end.
Yeah.
Wow, it's hot.
Woo!
It's really hot.
It's a mystery.
I didn't die.
I almost
You
did.
got pretty.
I almost
close.
died.
Um,
barely
you got pretty close. Buff
You
three
were
blocks.
closest.
You were 1 point away.
I got one hit point.
Holy crap.
I love it though.
Mother of all the gods of above.
Robyn, I love that. It's good. I did not expect you to burst into flames today.
Well, I wasn't going to, and then I died.
Understandable.
Sorry I didn't heal you guys, I just wasn't really feeling it.
Some cleric you
Maybe
are.
it is your class.
I wasn't like necessary yet. So like once we die, then I'll like.
I'll use true resurrection then.
Yep.
Yeah, he's just saving it up. He's actually a level 7 cleric.
I really am Brian.
He's just playing as Brian again.
I just worship myself. That's how I'm a
He
cleric.
just He's not even a cleric. He's a level 20 wizard. He's just
Probably
inhabited
that's so
this body.
Do what
Why would he have inhabited
No, that's
that
yours.
body? It's
Yeah.
not like
The other one
they-
dies. Or
Yeah,
gets
your body
killed.
can die of old age. You can just harvest
Well,
it.
that one can't.
Yeah, that's true. But maybe it was getting destroyed
Yeah.
by the man whose body you know now.
Well, when you have dreams.
Yeah, that's very, that's
Actually, the
really
most
fair.
powerful man in the world.
I'm very happy with how that went.
Did you say Brian's the most powerful man in the world?
No, the
No,
current-
Rick Rath is
current
the most
body.
I was about to
powerful.
say, yeah, I would like to contest
Ring
that.
rat.
He's
Here's
just-
the thing.
he's just
Remember,
Death Note.
Shada's ghost is still literally following.
Rin Karat.
That is cult now.
She is.
Can I just say, you can't just drop the most beloved NPC in minute 1.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Well, here's the thing.
Did he just like leave as soon as we went?
Yeah, he left. He walked past you guys on his way out. Here's the thing.
Oh, the worst part about that is, I definitely couldn't see that.
None of you
And none of us
know him in
I
character.
None of us would have any context.
No,
Exactly.
none of us.
But he's in the city.
Yeah, the
That's
stories
so
about him
cute.
running around with the Mighty Nine or whatever it is.
What you say?
The shard.
I said that stories of him running around with the Mighty Nine or whatever it is.
Shardbreakers. No, I don't know that he would have been famous.
No, he wouldn't have been.
The mighty comrade and his.
That is not how the story ended up being
100%.
told.
BS.
So my dwarf
Yeah, I was about to say,
told it.
considering that Brian made it his goal to go around and tell the story, it would not have
In
been
the
told
dwarf
that way.
hold. The dwarf's the hero.
In the deep underground dwarven halls.
Except for
Like 4chan.
Where only the dwarves matter, you go.
Because dwarves are racist.
Yay.
So,
Did he visit Nissa on the moon? Can I ask that?
sure, he did.
Yay!
Oh, I'm also just gonna, for the video, that's it.